This guy pulls up to the hunter qualification exam and absolutely rattles the top S rankers across the globe. One casual punch, a level 50 monster, gets deleted instantly. The scene is so wild. The commander can't even sit still. He's scrambling to recruit this dude ready to sign a blank check on demands. But here's the plot twist nobody sees. Coming Bro was trapped in the abyss for 500 agonizing years. Every single day, his only fuel came from the nightmares he hunted. As the beasts got deadlier, his power spiked through endless combat. 50 years in, he's swatting low-tier mobs like flies. By year 300, even the high-level boss monsters in the abyss get folded, with a single tap. At the 400-year mark, his family's faces are just a blurry memory. Nothing left but infinite battles and scars on top of scars. By year 500, he officially becomes the apex predator of the abyss. Nothing down there dares to even look at him wrong. But despite being OP, he's still lost. He used to have this happy family life. Then suddenly a recurring glitch starts haunting his sleep. He dreams of a floating island, shrouded in fog filled with ruined Western architecture like a ghost town that never existed. Yet in the wreckage, I spot a silhouette. Someone's been waiting for me to show up. Come to me, kid. I'm at the edge of the abyss. Right when I hit this cliffhanger. In the dream, I snap awake. Kept this trauma on the low for ages, never told a soul. Figured it was just study burnout messing with my head. Dad smacks me from behind. Zone back in. You're daydreaming again. Get ready for school. Washed up, sitting down for breakfast with the squad. My goal, join the Defense Force post-grad. Figured once that happened, family time would be rare. But I never guessed a massive shadow was about to eclipse the whole planet today. Towers start spawning out of thin air. I'm clueless right now, but these towers, they're about to rewrite human history permanently. Day 1 of the apocalypse, Big Bro calls us. Says, "Don't worry, I'm safe, but the vibe is off." His voice over the phone sounds terrifyingly weak. That's the last time we ever hear from him. We knew he wasn't coming back. At first, the news feeds tell us to bunker down at home to stay safe. But then, over 20 towers pop up globally. Eventually, the broadcast signal just dies. Total blackout. No intel coming in from the outside world. Government finally sends the alert, pack your bags, evac to the safe zones immediately. Before we dip, Mom scribbles a desperate note for my brother. If you make it back, find us. Then the family escape run begins. On the road, I witness pure horror. Soldiers with 1,000-yard stares totally broken. Their armored tanks are ripped open by massive claw marks. We hit a temporary shelter. The vibe is eerily silent. Everyone looks like walking corpses, waiting for the end, zero hope in their eyes. Drama breaks out. Some grown man tries to snatch rations from a little kid. Your stomach is tiny, starving. For a few days won't kill you. Hand over the bread. The kid can't fight back and starts to give in. But Dad, who never stays in his lane when things go south, can't just watch this happen. Read the room. Why are you doing this? But the guy doesn't rate my dad at all. Mind your business, Pops. Dad's expression goes dark. Give it back. Hearing this, the guy laughs and throws a haymaker at Dad. Next second, Dad drops him with a clean kick. Dad hands the bread back to the kid. Totally ignoring the trash on the floor, Dad gives him an icy glare. The bread thief shuts up instantly, leaves muttering a threat. You'll pay for this. I recognize that face. Always wanted to take out trash like him. Suddenly, a military officer bursts in, orders everyone to clear the shelter and load onto the trucks as soon as possible. Someone asks, why? But the soldier's face says he doesn't have the clearance to explain. Just do exactly what you're told. While they're busy bickering, total chaos erupts outside. Suddenly, a soldier bursts through the rear door screaming, "Run, forget everything else, just go," seeing the panic. I shove my parents forward. We have to leave now. My gut is screaming that something is horribly wrong. Then, the shelter door explodes inward. White-furred beasts swarm the room. The people who were arguing seconds ago are now scrambling for their lives. We've never seen creatures like this, but you don't need a high IQ to know they're lethal. I freeze, mind racing. What the hell is happening? The crowd stampedes toward the evacuation trucks outside. Get in quick, I yell to my folks. I sprint off to check the other vehicles for space, pivoting to the left. But the truck is packed tight, no room for me. Desperate, I spot another vehicle nearby. It's only half full. I make a break for it and leap onto the bed. Just then, a massive hand reaches down to pull me up. Thanks, I gasp. But the guy's face twists into a sick, malicious grin. Ain't it a little early for gratitude? My stomach drops. I look up and realize it's that guy, the one my dad punched earlier. Of all people, he yanks his hand back and shoves me hard off the truck. Time slows down. It's over. My life, my dreams gone. As I hit the ground, the stampede of countless people crushes me underfoot. I don't want to die. Someone save me. Through the pain, I open my eyes and see a glowing, translucent foot standing right in front of me. I squint. It's him, the old man from my dreams. He repeats that cryptic line, "I will wait for you at the edge of the abyss." Blink, and the world shifts. The chaos, the crowd gone. Silence. Then smash, something sharp slams into the ground inches from my face. I look up a goblin. Pure terror kicks in. I scramble to my feet and turn to run, desperate to escape this nightmare. But then everything from the last few days floods back. The fear, the anger. It hits a breaking point. The mysterious Towers, that scumbag, who shoved me off the truck, the creepy old man, and now this ugly goblin. I'm done running. It's fight or die right here, right now. Without thinking, I grab a jagged rock off the ground, spin around, and charge straight at the beast. You want me, come and get me. Either you die or I do. It's a brutal, messy brawl, but finally, I take the creature down. I can't believe it. Video game monsters in real life, I notice a black number etched on its chest, probably its level. Suddenly, a dark crystal floats out of its corpse. I freeze, staring at it, totally clueless. But the crystal acts like it's alive. It locks onto me and shoots forward. Before I can even blink, it slams right into my chest and buries itself inside me. Panic fades as I realize. My wounds. They're knitting themselves back together. A surge of raw power floods my veins. So killing monsters and absorbing their crystals levels me up. Got it. I grab the goblin's weapon. There have to be more of them. I need cover fast. But when I scan the area, I'm shocked. It's empty. Just that one goblin. The only thing of interest is a path leading to a doorway ahead. I'm on a floating island in the sky. At the edge, there's a staircase leading down. Still no monsters in sight. I descend carefully. This feels way too familiar, like a dungeon crawler where a skeleton jumps out to knock you off the edge. Maybe I'd respawn at a checkpoint, but I'm not testing that theory today. Bottom of the stairs. I step into a chamber, and it's definitely not what I expected. The stone walls look ancient. Whoosh. A flame suddenly roars to life, illuminating the room. Behind the fire, there's another door. What is this place? Is that the exit? I notice a stone tablet covered in symbols. I've never seen this language before, yet somehow the meaning downloads directly into my brain. The fragile fragments and all their wielders possess shall grant the right of escape. I can't help but smirk. So that's the game. Collect the fragments, get out of here. Finally, a way home. I feel a fire lighting up inside me. Thinking back, that first goblin was barely a warm-up. With that boost of confidence, I shove the heavy stone door open. Immediately, a bone-chilling cold washes over me. Abyss floor. A zone covering 900 square meters. Enemy type. Level 1 monsters. Floor 2 doubles the size, 1,800 square meters, hosting level 2 beasts. And floor 3, 3,600 square meters of hell. 4 targets on the radar, but only one is rocking a number 3. The fragments? They only exist inside the numbered elites. These shards are my VIP pass to unlock the next floor. Higher number equals deadlier beast. Simple math. But as I plunge deeper into the abyss, a disturbing glitch pops up. These keys, they're becoming near impossible to track down, because with every single floor, the map size and the mob count strictly double. Inside this void, I level up with every kill. The trippy part, my physical age is totally frozen. Time has lost all meaning. 10 years, 100, doesn't matter. I can now obliterate high-tier bosses with a single tap. And as I keep descending, the monster roster just keeps expanding. Hit floor 15. We're talking over 1 million hostiles. But do I fold under the pressure? Not a chance. I just go beast mode. By the time I crash onto floor 30, the enemy count hits 500 million. Finding the exit key now is like hunting for a needle in a galaxy-sized haystack. The mobs guard these keys like their lives depend on it. Some of them, realizing I'm out of their league, burrow underground. Doesn't matter. I hunt. I purge. Finally, I storm floor 99. Fueled by pure, unshakable grit. The mob density here, it surged past 2 billion. I let out a manic laugh. Since the exit key is playing hard to get, today's agenda is simple: total extermination. Massive sky dragons get reduced to skeletons in a split second. I have no clue if time here flows the same as back on Earth. I've been trapped in this grind for 500 solid years. The walls are scarred with endless tally marks. I'm beyond exhausted. I can't even recall my family's faces anymore. But I have to break out. It's the only thing keeping me sane, even if my parents are long gone. Over these 5 centuries, I became god-tier powerful. Nothing in this abyss can touch me but destiny. It pulled a cruel prank. 0 exits. Just endless islands to conquer. But here's the twist I don't see coming. While I've been rotting in the abyss, the real world went through a massive reboot. Over 20 mysterious towers spawned across the globe. Before humanity could figure out the meta, the unthinkable went down. Countless monsters poured out and started slaughtering humans, left and right. History dubbed it Judgment Day. But then some survivors awakened, unlocking a mysterious system interface. As time ticked on, more of these awakened scored overwhelming power. Humanity started to patch itself up, and the awakened formed the Hunters Guild. Meanwhile, back in the abyss, I'm hot on the heels of a demon wolf. I scream at it to quit running. Let me see if you're holding a number. Suddenly, a chain latches onto the beast and I hear human speech. She triggered an advanced teleport scroll. Shut it down. Hurry, don't let the summon complete. The next second, the demon wolf levitates, wrapped in massive warp energy. I'm shook. Could that swirling portal above be my ticket out? Seeing my chance, I launch myself off the ground like a rocket. After waiting an eternity, there's no way I'm letting this slide. With a sharp breath, I leap, trailing the demon wolf straight into the teleport stream. But then the abyss throws up a red flag. Warning, the abyss cannot summon two life forms simultaneously. I swear under my breath. Ain't nobody blocking my path. I clamp down hard on the wolf ahead of me. I can't let it warp out before I do. Meanwhile, in the real world, a woman is cornered by a squad of hunters thirsty for the level 60 scroll in her hands. One hunter flashes a wicked grin. Hand it over now or things get messy. The woman screams in terror. Players can't attack each other. You're breaking the rules. The level 38 barbarian just chuckles. Rules are made to be broken, sweetheart. He raises his blade, terrifying her to tears. The barbarian sneers, just drop the scroll and I might let you walk out of here with your limbs attached. Seeing no choice, she clutches the scroll tight. You want to play dirty? Fine. The hunter's faces drop instantly. She's forcing the summon. Shut her down fast. The barbarian goes full send, powering up to absolutely flatline this girl and swipe the scroll. Instantly, a terrifying aura explodes from his body, with raw electricity crackling all around him. Seconds before his weapon caves her skull in, she hits a desperate dodge and forces the summon. The hunters panic. If she actually pulls this off, that high-level monster will wipe the floor with them. If I'm going down, I'm taking you with me. A massive swirling vortex tears open the sky above. A bolt of lightning crashes down from the vortex, slamming right into her summoning scroll. Every hunter on the field gets blown back by the shockwave. Cold sweat drips down the brute's face. The energy is suffocating. We're screwed. We need to bail. Moments later, something starts crawling out slowly. Through the blinding lightning, they stare intensely at the summon. But when the smoke clears and they see what actually arrived, they freeze. It's just a level 3 hell wolf. Seeing this one, Hunter even tosses a bone at it. The whole squad almost bursts out laughing at the joke. Even the girl is totally lost. She defended that scroll with her life just for this trash tier mob. Fate really played her dirty. But then bam, a hand suddenly punches straight through the demon wolf's chest. With barely any effort, I rip the beast's body cleanly in half. The hunters lose their minds. A humanoid monster. That's unheard of. The summoner just stands there, completely shook. She definitely didn't see this coming. I finally speak up, voice low. I'm finally out. 500 years in that hellhole. Just thinking about it makes me sick. Suddenly, I scream at the sky in pure ecstasy. I escaped. I'm finally free. The raw pressure exploding from my body has these hunters shaking in their boots. Just the sound of my laughter freezes them to the bone. This energy, it's way scarier than any local S-rank hunter. One of the girls stares me down. What even are you? Why did you come out of the teleportation gate? Hearing her ask that, I cut my laugh short. One step and I glitch right in front of her face. I'm moving so fast I leave after images. This girl has zero clue what's running through my head. For 500 long years, I haven't seen a single human face. So seeing them now, it actually feels kind of nice. I wrap my arm around her shoulder like we're besties and ask, "Is this Earth?" She stammers. "This is Earth." Hearing that confirmation, I bust out laughing again. I'm finally back. I glance over at the two guys nearby. Their outfits are bizarre. You guys doing some kind of cosplay or what? Their faces instantly sour. A split second later, two of them rush me from behind trying to pull a sneak attack. But here's the thing. I don't dodge. I don't run. I just stand there and let them land their hits. Crack. Their weapons shatter the second they touch me. My eyes flash with killing intent. "What do you think you're doing, you morons?" The brute locks eyes with me and goes pale. What? What kind of monster are you? I'm already in his face before he can blink. You dare call me a monster? You got a death wish. Suddenly my vision blurs. I start hallucinating the barbarian as one of those abyss monsters. I snatch him by the throat and pin him down hard. I don't show mercy to abyss trash. I growl. "Let me see your number. I need that core from your chest." Hearing this, the brute looks totally lost. "What number? We don't know what you're talking about." His desperate scream snaps me back to reality. Damn, I almost wasted the wrong guy. I slowly loosen my grip. He slumps to the ground instantly. Dude literally peed himself. My aura was just that heavy. He's probably realizing that even the country's top S-rank hunter wouldn't stand a chance against me. Knowing they're outmatched, they want to run. But the brute's legs have turned to jelly. He can't even stand up. I give them an out. "You four, get lost. Now." I'm not in the mood for murder, but if you stay, I'll start dropping bodies. The squad scrambles away in pure panic terror in their eyes. Once they're gone, I turn my attention to the summoner girl. She spots the scars covering my back. She's totally stunned. Insane power, but a body wrecked by scars. What the hell did this guy go through? But regardless of where this guy came from, she knows one thing for sure. He is absolutely not some monster dragged out of the abyss. It's impossible. Not with that scroll. Besides, a human being summoned from the abyss, that's unheard of. While her brain is buffering, I turn to face her. Hey, tell me something. How long have these towers been standing? She freezes, looking at me like I grew a second head. The towers. They've been here for 5 years. That's literally History 101. How do you not know that? I squint at her skeptical. 5 years, try 500. That's how long I rotted in that hellhole. If this really is Earth, what's the deal with the magic scroll? And why is she dressed like an RPG character? The math isn't mathing. Terrified I might snap, she starts spilling the tea. When the towers rose, the system came online. Humanity didn't stand a chance. Within days, a third of our cities were wiped off the map. She pulls up the holographic footage to prove it. City 5 took 7 massive waves of invasions. I barely made it out alive. I stare at the screen stunned. That's S City. My hometown. Panic hits me like a truck. I grip her arm maybe a little too tight. What is the status of S City right now? She winces. S City is a wasteland. Most sectors are total rubble, but they sent high rankers in for support. The monsters should be cleared out soon. Hearing that my home is on the brink of total collapse, I need to move. Now, point me to the fastest route to S City. She raises a shaking hand pointing north. The second, her finger extends. Boom. I launch myself like a phantom missile, moving so fast I vanish before her eyes can even focus. She's left standing there, completely shook. That guy was definitely not a summon. Summons don't have free will. She needs to tell her sister about this, as soon as possible. A living, breathing human just walked out of a summoning gate. This is actually insane. Meanwhile, the barbarian is such a mess he wet himself. His buddies basically have to carry him, but they don't get far. A pitch-black aura erupts in front of them, cutting off their escape route like a wall. Who's there? One of them stammers. The figure turns around slowly, and their blood runs cold. Just their luck, they stumbled right into a nest of monsters today. It's another expert killer. The vibes coming off this guy are suffocating. The dark energy rolling off his cloak. It's making them shake uncontrollably. The power gap here isn't just big, it's infinite. Fight back, not a chance. That terrifying aura has their hearts hammering against their ribs. I'm feeling generous today, the figure drawls. So I'll give you 3 seconds. Tell me where Cuerda is. 3 seconds. That's it. The barbarian is raging internally. Why is everyone they meet today a god-tier freak? One monster after another. Even he's out of ideas. Who could have predicted? Splat. In a split second, the entire squad explodes into a fine mist of red blood. The hooded figure barely flicked his wrist, and just like that, 4 hunters are deleted. Time's up, Yonelli. You wasted your chance. Don't blame me. System notifications pop up in the air. The deceased were elites from the Tiger Roar Guild. Cut to the Tiger Roar Guild HQ. High-end office. A woman reports, voice trembling. Sir, several of our master-tier elites just flatlined. And that girl's scroll, it's gone off the grid. Hearing the report, the man at the desk doesn't say a word. He just crushes his wine glass to dust with his bare fingers. He looks calm on the surface, but the woman knows better. He is seething. Those experts you vetted couldn't even handle a level 19 summoner. And now their signals vanish instantly. Is this how you do your job? But here's the scary part. The signals disappeared simultaneously. That means all 4 were one-shotted. Who on earth has the power to do that? This man is Likate, a level 118 Storm Priest. He barks an order. Investigate this. Find out who interfered with my operation. If they're weak, erase them. He strides to the window looking down at his city. Anyone who touches his people dies. But then, he sees something impossible. A man with long white hair, flying through the sky. No way. The S-rank hunter's expression turns deadly. The stench of blood is overwhelming even from here. Who the hell is that? He needs answers immediately. The defense agency is freaking out. They can't track me, and they are definitely confused about where I'm headed. That sector isn't just a dead zone. It's a graveyard. Why would anyone fly there? It's not just suicide. It's madness. But they don't get it. This isn't a random invasion. Something massive is pulling the strings from the shadows. The tower, which has been dormant for 5 long years, has finally opened its eyes. While the officials scramble to deploy the S-class hunters, I'm already blurring across the sky. 10 minutes later, I hit City S. What I see makes my blood run cold. I touch down on a rooftop, scanning the nightmare below. It's worse than I imagined. The sky is swarming with flying beasts, and the city has been reduced to absolute rubble. This place is gone. I spent 500 years fighting in the abyss, but out here, only 5 years have passed. That time gap gives me hope, but looking at this destruction, it terrifies me. The city is a literal hellscape. Are mom and dad still breathing, after all those eons in the dark? The only thing keeping me sane was the thought of seeing them again. I thought getting back would be quick. I never expected it to take 5 centuries. I went in weak, but I came out as the apex predator of the abyss. Down there, the monsters didn't hunt me anymore. I hunted them. But after 200 years of slaughter, I almost lost my mind. I had convinced myself there was no way my family survived that long. Day after day, choking down raw monster entrails just to stay alive. I was sickeningly tired of it. But I made a vow, dead or alive, I was making it back to Earth. That promise fueled me. Suddenly, a mindless bat monster screeches and dives at me. I brace myself, but I don't even have to lift a finger. The thing explodes in midair, crushed by the sheer weight of my aura. It couldn't handle my presence. But back to the math. 5 centuries for me, 5 years for them. My family has a fighting chance. Please just hang on a little longer until I get there. I reach my old block. The laughter and life that used to fill these streets, gone. Buildings are shattered like cheap glass, but strangely, there are no bodies. The herd must have moved to populated areas. Standing before my front door, my heart is hammering against my ribs. After all this time, my hands are shaking too much to just turn the knob calmly. Crack. I accidentally ripped the door off its hinges. Guess it was already weakened. I step into the shadows of my past. A beam of sunlight cuts through the dust, hitting me as I walk in. My shadow looks incredibly lonely on the floor. I scan the room. Silence. I knew they wouldn't be here, but I had to see the place where I was actually happy. Then I spot something on the table. A note. I pick it up, treating it like fragile glass. It reads, "My dearest son, the world says you're gone, but we know you're still out there, dear. We kept your room exactly how you left it. We never stopped believing you'd come home. Come find us. We bought new clothes for you every year from small to extra large, just in case." I break down. They risked death coming back here just to leave this message. Following Mom's instructions, I pull open the closet door. It's full. Brand new outfits. And tucked away, there's a map marked to shelter number 6. There's a family photo, too. I don't know where Mom got that blind faith, but she was right. I clutch the photo album, letting the tears flow freely for the first time in centuries. 500 years. The abyss stole their faces from my memory long ago, but seeing this picture brings it all rushing back. I spot a dagger nearby. I catch my reflection in the blade. The eyes staring back are different now. Dangerous. With the power I have now, I can crush every beast on this planet and end this nightmare. I use the blade to hack off my matted hair and throw on the fresh clothes. In minutes, the savage is gone. I can fix this. 5 years is nothing. I can make up for lost time. The hair on the floor represents the hell I escaped. It's time to start living again. The wild man is gone. Now a sharp-looking young man stands there, bearing a single scar and a hell of a lot of power. Checked my reflection, looking sharp. Target locked, shelter number 6. That's exactly where my parents were headed. Map says go east, so I'm making a beeline straight for that bunker. But the whole route is a total wasteland. Following the old roads, impossible. But honestly, this wreckage ain't nothing to me. I survived the abyss. I've navigated hellscapes way gnarlier than this. This is just some rubble. So if the road is closed, I'll just blaze my own trail. Next second, I launch myself skyward, blasting off like a human rocket. The shortcut I'm carving out is actually going to get me to shelter number 6 in record time. Suddenly, a massive bird beast clocks me. It dives razor-sharp talons aiming straight for my throat. Big mistake. I don't even sweat it, just grip, rip, and tear that thing cleanly in two. Low-level trash trying to block my path. That's a death wish. I keep it moving, parkouring over the crumbling skyline. Concrete shatters every time I touch down. I'm maxing out my speed stats right now. Meanwhile, 2 dudes are chilling with some drinks nearby. They hear a massive boom. His buddy thinks he's tripping, maybe had one too many. Guard duty out here is a total snooze fest anyway. What could possibly go down here? Then bam, jaws drop. A lightning bolt streaks right over their domes. It's moving so fast they can't even tell what it is, let alone see it's a guy. Guy on the left points up, freaking out. "Yo, did you catch that?" But his friend is clueless. Only felt a gust of wind slap his face. Luckily, the third guy was vlogging or something, and he caught the whole thing on cam. Their tech is actually pretty next level. We're talking 300 times slow-mo capability. They scrub back the footage and spot me a human torpedo tearing through the sky. While I'm speed-running toward shelter number 6, I pick up a scream from below. Down on the ground, a squad of hunters has a woman cornered. "Please let me go. I was just scavenging for food." She never expected survivors in this wasteland. These guys haven't seen a woman in ages. The leader is practically drooling. "Relax, babe. We're the good guys." Yeah, right, with a creepy look like that. Even an idiot could vibe check this guy and know he's up to no good. He claims he won't hurt her, says he wants to take care of her. She's frozen solid with terror, praying these creeps back off. Instead, the hunter shoves her to the ground. "Don't be scared, we're harmless," he lies, flashing the nastiest grin imaginable. "We'll be real gentle." Suddenly, crack. A noise erupts from behind them. It's the sound of the ground shattering. Some things never change. Trash is always trash. My eyes are burning with pure killing intent. I stare down the trio. The leader jumps, totally spooked. "Who's playing games? Who's there? Show yourself, interfere, and you're dead meat." Before he finishes, his 2 lackeys rush me. One guy is dual-wielding blades. The other looks like some wannabe knight, rocking a shield and sword combo. Don't get cocky, white-haired brat. Next second, they're both charging me full throttle. I don't even flinch. I stand up, flick my wrist, and backhand one of them straight across the face. Thud. Dude hits the dirt instantly. One slap, lights out. Didn't even stand a chance. I scoff internally. I could drop scrubs like you in my sleep. Right then, the other hunter thrusts his blade, but I dodge it like it's in slow motion. Way too slow. While he's stumbling forward from the momentum, I snatch his arm. Pure terror washes over him as agony shoots through his limb. I press down, forcing him to his knees, and introduce his face to my left knee. Crunch. Now the leader is pissed. Who the hell are you? I'm with the Tiger Roar Guild. You touch me and the guild will hunt you down. Hilarious. He doesn't know I just scrapped 4 of his Tiger Roar buddies. I say his name nice and slow. Shuin gone. Forget me already. It's only been 5 years. I brush my bangs back so he gets a good look. You personally destroyed my life. Forgot the face you tried to delete. Dude is straight up shook, asking how I'm even here. No shot. It is Choi Yugdo right. He's terrified now, scrambling backward like a cockroach, trying to bail, whispering, impossible on loop. But for every step he retreats, I take one forward. I want him paralyzed with fear. Yugdo screams, losing his mind. Stay back, why are you alive? I just chuckle. You saying I'm not allowed to exist. I slowly reach out. Then I snatch him by the neck, lift him up like a rag doll. Way too easy. You didn't forget 5 years ago, did you? You shoved me into traffic. Thanks to you, I spent centuries in the abyss. You have any clue what those centuries felt like? Pure terror floods his eyes. One little squeeze and he's dead instantly. My knuckles crack. I was down there way too long. Literal hell on earth. Now it's his turn to take a tour. This scumbag deserves everything coming. Used to shake me down for cash constantly back in school, and he almost killed me last time. So I'm gonna dismantle his dignity piece by piece. With my current stats, I'm basically a god. A demonic aura flaring behind me, whispering to just end him. The thought definitely crosses my mind. But death, that's an easy exit. Nope. School was pure torture because of him. That humiliation, I carried that through every second of the abyss. So today I'm paying it back with interest. No escape routes for this guy. Every time he crushed my pride and made me swallow it. Next second I release the choke and slam him into the dirt. Not killing him yet. I've got a better plan. Yugdo's gasping, desperate for oxygen. He saw the light for a second there. I rub my eyes. After eons in the dark, I feel like I'm merging with those monsters. Can't let that take over though. But this trash didn't just bully me. He tried to assault that woman moments ago. Who knows how many victims he's stacked up. Decision made. I'm leaving him permanent brain damage. He'll be a vegetable, breathing through his mouth and nothing else. Because wherever he goes, people get hurt. Yugdo, you tried to kill me once and missed. I won't kill you, but you aren't walking away from this either. He looks confused, not getting the vibe. 2 years of daily torture in school, hell on earth. I remember one specific time, he beat a kid over a piece of bread. I tell him we're settling the tab. You just gotta take 4 hits. Then I let you walk. He latches onto that hope, begging. If you kill me, the Hunter Guild will hunt you down. I grab his neck again. I tell him to worry about himself. The guild can't touch me. He stares completely stunned. I throw the first punch. Not full power, but the impact. Still way more than he can tank. His body slams into the concrete. Chest caves right into the rubble. Then comes the second hit. His 2 lackeys are frozen in shock. Thud. Blood sprays everywhere. Third hit lands brutally. These punches. That's for the high school bullying. He can barely stand, but I order him up. I'm not done. Survive one last hit and you're free. I'm a ghost to you. Yugdo begs me to just end it. After 3 hits, his body is wrecked. Living is pointless anyway. But I didn't tell him to stand up so I could hear him whine. I stomped directly on his head. Remember, this is the price for what you did. Boom. My foot grinds his skull into the pavement. I keep my word. As long as he survives the combo, I'm gone. After that final blow, Yugdo's eyes are gone. Agony firing through every cell. Limbs useless, total blindness. Without a healer, he's toast. But I'm not letting him die. That's too easy. I tell his minions to rush him to the ER. If Yugdo dies, I'll make sure you two share his fate. Hope Yugdo learns to never cross my path again. Catch me around him again, I'm throwing hands. Period. With that final threat, I kick off the ground and vanish. Priority 1, Shelter 6. I gotta blaze a trail right now or mom and dad are totally toast. Whoosh. A sonic boom rips through the air. I'm moving so fast I'm basically invisible, just a blur. Meanwhile, over in the S-City buffer zone, 3 grunts are killing time. Honestly, they'd kill to be back on wall duty. Anything is better than hunting monsters out here in the sticks. Officer on deck. A stiff-looking soldier walks up. Quit acting soft. You see a beast, try not to wet yourselves. And stay frosty. These things don't make appointments, they just show up whenever they want. That's First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun, dropping knowledge. But his rookie just laughs it off, reassuring him, relax, sir. This is the kiddie pool. Zone X monsters never come this far out. We just gotta keep our eyes pay. Famous last words. Before the sentence even finishes, splat, a massive tentacle coils around him like a wet noodle. Before anyone can even blink, they realize their buddy is gone. Wasted. Enter the nightmare, a kraken spawn. Level 45. Armored to the teeth. The lieutenant screams, "Hold the line, do not crack." Break formation, and we're dead. They unload their clips, but the lead just bounces off that shell. 0 damage. The beast glares down at the squad, eyes burning with pure rage. It's looking for a snack. The soldiers start shaking. This thing is way out of their league. Their guns are pea shooters against this tank. Staying here is suicide. Boom, the beast launches into the sky. It goes airborne. That massive shadow swallows them whole, crushing their morale instantly. Lee screams, "Scatter, spread out, do not give it a cluster target." But he doesn't realize the fear paralysis has already hit. Their knees turn to jelly. Gravity brings the monster down, aiming straight for the boys. One swipe of that claw, game over, insta-kill. But amidst the slaughter, one guy finds his spine. He steps up, screaming, "Get back!" He's strapped with a massive explosive pack. "Hey, ugly, I'm taking you with me." He torpedoes himself straight at the squid face. The squad lights up the sky with cover fire behind him. The bullet storm actually works. It slows the monster's reflexes just enough. The bomber closes the gap. He is right in its face now. He's aiming for a crit one-shot to the weak point. But then a plot twist. The kraken freezes. It stops attacking on its own. It looks terrified. The soldier doesn't get squashed. He's alive but totally confused. Why did the murder machine hit the brakes? Crack. Snap. Weird noises erupt from inside the beast. Everyone pauses. This was supposed to be a bloodbath. Instead, the thing is paralyzed. The squad is completely shook. What the heck is going on? Even the captain looks like he's seeing a ghost. He is clueless. But the terror in that kraken's eyes, it is real. This is getting weird. They don't know what scared it, but our suicide bomber isn't waiting around to ask. It is do or die. He preps the payload. Target lock the eyes. Just a flick of the wrist. Yeet. The package connects. Boom. A massive fireball erupts. Flames swallow the beast whole. But when the smoke clears, shockwave. Not a scratch on it. Why? Simple physics. Those tentacles snapped shut over its eyes like blast shields. No eye damage, no kill. The kraken marches forward, looming over the soldier. Veins popping out of its eyeballs. The bomber is paralyzed with shock. All that firepower and nothing. How is that even physically possible? The rest of the squad bailed. Now those tentacles are laser-focused on the one guy left. And then whoosh, I arrive. I smash my foot straight through its eye socket. Squish, the invincible beast. Instant corpse. Drops dead, on the spot. The soldier's jaw hits the floor. The lieutenant can't process what he is seeing. Wait, were those cracking sounds coming from me? It could have been way uglier since I was dreading his arrival. I pull myself up, slow and steady, my gaze dripping with pure murderous intent. Didn't expect to run into the military out here. But hey, perfect timing to ask them exactly how far. Shelter number 6 is. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is still standing there, totally shook. He can't wrap his head around it. I literally one-shotted a beast that tanked a massive explosion. His eyes snap into focus. He's never seen a player like me. He's clocking this as S-rank destructive power minimum. Maybe even God tier beyond S-rank. The lieutenant decides he needs to ID me, whatever the cost. But suddenly, he gets a system alert. Error. Special skill, vision, unavailable. The level gap is just too massive. The lieutenant is absolutely floored. He's never dealt with a glitch like this. I've only been in this world for a few hours, picking up the basics, but my own system interface is still locked. Meanwhile, the lieutenant is totally gassed. That scan skill didn't just drain energy. It likely cost him years of his actual lifespan. I shoot him a cold, indifferent look. For a split second, I felt eyes on me. Then I casually stroll over to one of the soldiers. I need intel. Specifically, how far is shelter? Number 6. The soldier helps me out. It's 10 kilometers due north. But you gotta cut through Zone X to get there. That piques my curiosity. What is this kid yapping about? What's Zone X? Turns out that's where they corral the beast tides. They funnel the monsters there to minimize collateral damage. Tons of hunters are stationed there, grinding away. While he's explaining, I catch the chatter from other troops nearby. Yo, the loot drops today are all rares. Back in the Abyss, mobs dropped black crystals, but I didn't expect real-world beasts to drop actual loot. It's literally like a video game. I just got out of the Abyss, so my power scaling is a total mystery. I turn to the soldier. How strong was that beast you guys were fighting? Hearing that, the guy starts sweating bullets. A level 45 beast is a nightmare. Way above my pay grade. Even a full squad would struggle to take it down. Interesting. So a low-tier mob from the Abyss is basically a raid boss for them. I press him again. How many beasts leveled higher? Then 45 are in the nest. His expression goes dark. Probably less than 100 in that specific spot. If those things were swarming everywhere, humanity would have been extinct ages ago. Got my answers. I turn to leave. The soldier is left speechless, wondering just how overpowered Someone has to be to walk with that much swagger. Just as I step away, he scrambles after me. Wait, hold on. I pause, glancing back over my shoulder. Speak. If it's not too much trouble, I might just grant his wish. He bows deep, full of respect. Please. I hope you can go to Zone X. I know it's a death trap, but with a hunter as strong as you could save so many lives. If I recall, he did say the quickest way to the shelter was through Zone X anyway. I accept without skipping a beat. I'll help you wipe the map in Zone X. It wasn't in my original game plan, but since I'm passing through to shelter number 6, might as well exterminate the pests. Not just in Zone X, but every single beast that crosses my path gets deleted. 10 minutes later, back at the rear base, the lieutenant who suffered that nasty backlash starts coming to. Seeing him stir his squad, freaks out with relief. Lieutenant, you're finally awake. The first thing on his mind is checking the clock. How long? About 10 minutes, sir. But thanks to the recovery item that Beast dropped, you healed up fast. If we didn't have that, you would have been in a coma. The lieutenant ignores the concern. Screw his health. He needs to know where his savior went. The soldier gives it to him straight, telling him I was headed north. The lieutenant clutches his pounding head, wincing, and mutters, north. Then it clicks. Something's wrong. Wait, what did you just say? Run that back. The soldier suddenly realizes the glitch in the Matrix too. That mystery hunter. He's heading to shelter number 6. The lieutenant's voice drops, dead serious. He said he was cutting through Zone X. The soldier nods, but the look on his face. Total disregard for the beasts in Zone X. He didn't just leave. He walked out like he owned the place. Hearing that, the officer whips his head around, absolutely livid. You can practically see the steam coming out of his ears. He finally finds an S-tier hunter, and now the guy's gonna get nuked the second he calls Central Command. The soldier freezes, eyes wide. Central Command, Lieutenant, are you serious? That's way above our pay grade. The lieutenant's heart is hammering against his ribs. 10 minutes. That's all the time they have left. Just enough to maybe make a difference. He keeps checking his watch every second, feeling like an hour. Suddenly, another soldier bursts in. Emergency signal sent, sir. Waiting on a ping. Back any second now. But the soldier pauses, confused. Why go straight to Central? What aren't you telling us? The lieutenant takes a deep breath. This isn't a standard run. It's high-level classified intel. That's why you guys were kept in the dark. Zone X isn't just a beast containment area. It's ground zero for this entire operation. It's a designated kill box, a bombing zone. Meanwhile, over at Central Command, a female op shouts out, emergency traffic from Zone Beta 7. The massive guy lounging in the center chair mumbles just one word, connect. Enter Central Commander Wan Taejong, level 58 fire mage, a heavy hitter. The op patches it through instantly. Central is now live with an urgent battle report, straight from First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. Fingers fly across the keyboard as the link is established. Static clears. Comms code W342. This is First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun. I have a code red situation here. The lieutenant quickly spills the tea on his encounter with the mysterious hunter. Target entered the bombing zone moments ago. Unknown hunter. He has zero clue about the operation. Wan Taejong's eyes go ice cold. So, you called to report your own screw-up, because if that's it, heads are gonna roll. Hearing that tone, the lieutenant instinctively bows his head. Rank means nothing against a guy like Wan, but the lieutenant knows he has to push. Requesting emergency broadcast to warn the target about the incoming bombardment. The lieutenant is risking it all, because he knows this hunter is a beast. He can't just let a powerhouse get wiped out for nothing. The plea echoes through the room, and suddenly, Wan Taejong looks interested. Exceptionally powerful, huh? Juan leans forward with the million-dollar question. If he's that good, what's his level? But the lieutenant freezes. He doesn't have a number. When he tried to scan him earlier, error. Nothing. Hearing the silence, Juan nearly busts a gut, laughing. Call yourself a lieutenant. Some rando with no ID breaks protocol. Wanders into a kill zone and you want me to stop the show, you trolling. Then the woman next to him pipes up. Guys probably toast before we even hit send. They're treating the lieutenant like a total clown. Zero brains. But hey, you're funny. You really called Central Command for this garbage. Juan glances at the woman smirking. Guess nobody taught these grunts how to handle themselves. Who's their handler anyway? The air in the room shifts. Just casual banter to them. While I can't technically butt in on how he runs his squad, this grunt is making a scene. If he tells Brass you blocked the operation, it's on you. Your call, Commander. Park Soo-jin watches the scene unfold. Facing a situation like this, is he really going to throw his own men under the bus? She looks at the big guy next to her and sees a total amateur. Zero leadership skills. If he didn't have raw power and the right connections, he'd be nobody. Park Soo-jin shifts her gaze back to the screen. Her star pupil is risking his career to save a total stranger, even willing to scrap the mission. She knows the lieutenant. He's not an idiot. He's sharp. So if he's going to bat for this random hunter this hard, that guy must be the real deal. The lieutenant can't even meet Park Soo-jin's eyes, just stares at the floor silent. Park Soo-jin thinks it over. Time to make a move. She can't tick off the big guy, but she has to back her subordinate. She finally speaks up. Look, I'm going to assume you didn't just sabotage our entire strategy for kicks. You must have a reason. So here's the deal. Convince me right now, or the countdown continues. The operation proceeds. And if you fail, I'll personally see to it that you face a court-martial. It's a calculated move offering a lifeline while dodging political heat from the bigwigs. But Lieutenant Lee frozen. He's only known her for 5 minutes, and he's paralyzed. A military tribunal means game over. And let's be real, don't the powerful always write their own rules? She glances sideways at Wan Taeyong. That should satisfy you. Right, let's at least hear his defense. Wan is fuming, but he's not stupid enough to step to Park Soo-jin. She is an S-rank hunter after all. So he shifts his rage onto the lieutenant. First Lieutenant Lee Han-jun, give me a valid reason to stop this fast. Or Park Soo-jin, and I will end your career together. Lee knows there's no escape route, so he drops the bomb. The target. The man inside. He annihilated a level 45 Kraken hatchling. 1 hit. As the report lands, Park Soo-jin's eyes go wide with shock. That's absolute insanity. If that intel is real, isn't he stronger than an A rank? He could be a covert military S-rank operative. If he's one of ours, we have to abort immediately, but Juan cuts her off cold. Impossible. Every single S-rank is tracked and deployed. No confirmed biosignals. This guy, just some random wildcard. Park Soo-jin is shook, but her tactical brain is still firing. Why didn't you scan his stats? You have the insight skill, don't you? It doesn't add up. Confronted by the S rank, the lieutenant stammers. He's still trying to process the horror himself. I tried. After activating the skill, I saw nothing, blank, and it drained my life force. Actually, the backlash from just trying to read him nearly took me out. That has never happened before. Now Park Soo-jin is completely floored. She knows Lee has successfully scanned her before, and that was tough enough. But failing completely, that proves the power gap is astronomical. The difference in levels is so vast he couldn't even peek. The lieutenant whispers, he's a monster. If I hadn't passed out from the shock, I never would have let him walk into that blast zone. At this, even Juan loses his cool. You couldn't read him. What is he level 100? The command center goes deathly silent. You could hear a pin drop as they try to process the terrifying data. Juan's fingers drum frantically on his armrest. This is a nightmare scenario. Then Juan hardens his resolve. The hunter is strong. I get it. But that is not enough to stop the clock. Another figure rises from the shadows. Commander of the East, Shu Yin-ho, a level 44 mage. He backs Juan's play. We cannot abandon a massive military operation on a hunch. We have thousands of troops from 4 corps, locked in, encircling the kill zone. The plan is precise: bombard the area, then mop up the survivors. But if we broadcast an abort signal, the noise will trigger every beast in the vicinity. They'll swarm the sound source, all of them converging on one point. If that happens, our lines break, and the entire region gets overrun. Thousands of soldiers' lives are on the scale. Trading an army for one unknown hunter, I simply won't do it. He looks genuinely pained. Even if he is S-rank, the math doesn't work. We can't take the risk. I'm sorry. Hearing the verdict, First Lieutenant Lee feels his stomach drop. The thought of vaporizing such a supreme talent makes him sick. But the final call isn't his. He looks to the commander, desperate for a miracle. Park Soo-jin's face is a mask of conflict. She hesitates, realizing both high commanders have shut it down. Delaying further just invites catastrophe. She steels herself. Request denied, Lieutenant. We're not sacrificing the mission for one man. The call cuts out abruptly. Final verdict, 0 objections allowed. The hologram in front of Lee Han-jun fades to black. Han-jun screams into the comms, but it's dead air. Absolute radio silence from the device. The 3 soldiers in the tent hang their heads in defeat. But Han-jun, he's vibrating with pure rage. Crack. He crushes the comms device in his bare hand. Even the commander just stands there totally clueless. A soldier rests a heavy hand on his shoulder. Lieutenant, you did everything you could. Don't beat yourself up over this. Han-jun is drowning in frustration. He hates it. Hates that he's just a pawn with 0 real power. Completely useless. And now, the country is about to lose a god-tier hunter. His face twists in agony, but orders are absolute. He can't defy the higher-ups. The brass made the call. But suddenly the soldier next to him gets this look. A wild, desperate spark in his eyes. His gaze locks onto one thing, the car keys dangling from the lieutenant's belt. 0 hesitation. He swipes the keys. The lieutenant blinks, totally caught off guard. What the hell, give those back. But the kid already has a plan. A suicide mission. Drive into the kill zone. Warn that S-class hunter. 6 minutes, until the bombs drop. He might just make it. The soldier moves like lightning, tearing open the jeep door and slamming the ignition. Heart pounding, praying, please let me make it. The lieutenant screams after him, you idiot. You want a court-martial? Get your ass back here, if anyone's going. It should be me, but the kid isn't listening. He stomps the gas pedal. The jeep screeches away in a cloud of dust. Another soldier turns to Han Jun, panic in his voice. Lieutenant, your orders. We need to drag him back or he's dead, but the lieutenant just pulls his cap down over his eyes. He doesn't stop him. Let him go. Kid's got guts. If he didn't do it, I would have. All we can do is pray he didn't just sign his own death warrant. Just come back alive. You reckless moron. Meanwhile, the jeep tears down the road. 5 minutes left on the clock. Driving might not be enough. The kid has no clue, but he's about to change the fate of the entire world. Because the man he's saving, he's humanity's last hope. The soldier scans the horizon, desperate for any sign of me. Heart racing, zero clue where I am. He's ripping through the eastern route pedal to the metal. But I'm nowhere to be seen, which means I'm moving faster than his engine can handle. He finally hits the edge of Zone X. He eyes the PA system. If he blasts the speakers, I might hear him. He hesitates. Turning that on is like ringing the dinner bell for every monster in a 5-mile radius. Instant death. While he freezes up, the clock ticks down. 2 minutes left. Before the carpet bombing obliterates everything, he steels himself and reaches for the mic. Screw it. I'm nobody anyway. If I can save that hunter, then my life is a cheap price to pay. Doubt vanishes. He grips the mic. He pulls it close, ready to shout. But his voice locks up. Pure terror. He opens his mouth. Nothing comes out. 10 precious seconds wasted as the jeep rolls forward. He feels like total garbage. A disgrace to the uniform. A coward. He doesn't belong here. Wait. If he was really a coward, would he be on this suicide run? He sucks in a breath, summons every ounce of courage, and screams, "Hey, mysterious hunter. It's me, the soldier you saved. I don't know if you're out there or if you can even hear this. But if you can, you need to run. They're bombing the whole zone. Command couldn't stop it. It's already in motion. I came to get you out. You're gonna die if you stay here." His voice booms across the empty streets. The warning echoes over and over. Suddenly, I skid to a halt. He came back. For me, I scan the area. No wonder it's a ghost town. Not a single hunter in sight. They're gonna level the place. I clench my fist so hard my knuckles crack. These low-level creeps can barely tickle me, but thermal resistance, that's a variable I haven't tested. I don't know the specs on this country's tech, but if they're confident these nukes will wipe the board, then there's a solid chance my body gets vaporized right along with the trash mobs. Even if I tank the blast, I'm looking at critical damage. No time to hesitate, my silhouette glitches and blurs as I lock onto the audio signature. That kid drove into a death trap. Just to give me a heads up, no way I'm letting a brave soul like that punch his ticket today. Meanwhile, the rookie is spiraling hard. He's deep in the kill zone on the verge of tears, seeing absolutely zero sign of me. The clock is the real enemy. At 4:59 and 25 seconds in the afternoon, the swarm pinpoints the noise and dives. By 4:59 and 32 seconds, the beasts are right on top of him. You can see the soul leaving the soldier's body. Game over. Just like I calculated, the loudspeaker was a dinner bell. Time check, 4:59, 38 seconds. Survival instinct kicks in. He whips the steering wheel. He needs to bail now. At 4:59 and 49 seconds, he slams the brakes. He stops cold because he remembers me. I'm still out there, exposed. If he runs, the hunter gets glassed with no warning. That's a hero move. But just as he grips the mic to scream, one last warning. While driving, a massive monstrosity drops from the sky like a meat meteor. The kid is catatonic with fear, completely missing the fact that I'm standing right beside him, casually tapping on his window. When his brain finally reboots, he looks up to see me staring back like, "You good? Thank God you're breathing." I cut to the chase. What's the intel? Are they actually nuking this sector? But the soldier can't even get the words out because the countdown hits 4:59 and 59 seconds. 1 second left on the doomsday clock. Beep, 5 o'clock sharp. You hear that, the screaming whistle of heavy ordnance. Launching from HQ. Target locked. In the blink of an eye, the payload rains down on the city, turning the entire block into a blazing hellscape. Impact. The shockwave rips through the concrete, hurling massive debris straight at our faces. I don't hesitate. I slam my fist into the asphalt. The earth obeys. Massive stone barriers erupt from the ground. I backhand the incoming. Rubble like it's nothing, keeping the jeep and the kid in a pristine safety bubble. Back at the command center, they're watching the fireworks. They just carpet-bombed Sector X from 5 angles. Smoke clears, and the kill count should be massive. Huang Taeyong goes cold. Launch the drones. I want damage assessment on the hostiles and coordinates on any survivors. Now, but here's the glitch. The sensors are flatlining. 0 life signs detected. The command room goes quiet. Where did an entire army of monsters disappear to? A split second later, the operator gasps. They didn't vanish. The monsters are still standing in the kill zone. Not only that, the beasts at ground zero are untouched. The command crew is absolutely shook. How our weapons tech is top tier. This isn't possible. Anything under level 50 should be dust. Park Soo-jin narrows her eyes. Pull up the visuals. I need eyes on the target. The operator furiously types, hijacking a distant drone feed. She syncs the live video to the main tactical display. Every eye in the room is glued to the big screen. The feed stabilizes and jaws drop. A crimson energy dome is wrapping the entire horde. No one knows where this shield came from. Mobs don't have that kind of magic. But then they spot him. A hooded figure perched on a monster's shoulder, like a king white hair flowing in the wind. Mystery solved. That impenetrable barrier, it's coming from him. Suddenly static. The screen goes black. The drone just got SWAT. It's an ambush. They prep another drone for launch, but the second it crosses into enemy airspace, the monsters lock on instantly. Signal lost. Again, the beast's palm just closes, crunching the high-tech gear into a scrap metal ball like it's nothing. Command center is now completely blind in Zone X. Every single eye in the sky has been obliterated. Park Soo-jin's face goes dark. They said this raid would be routine, but that was calculated. A terrifying thought hits her. Did these things actually evolve? Human-level intelligence. Do they know we're watching? The top brass is losing their minds. If she's right, we're looking at a massacre. The commander screams for an immediate evac of the residential district. Pull every soldier back. Park Soo-jin starts barking. Orders into the comms. Hold the wall at all costs. This is the final line. Do not let a single one of those freaks step a foot outside Zone X. But then a report comes in that freezes everyone in the room. The horde isn't targeting civilians. They're ignoring the city and swarming toward Zone B. 22 like they're being pulled by a magnet. The radar confirms it, they're breaching Zone B. 22 right now. It clicks for Park Soo-jin. That's exactly where the mystery guy went. But why? Are the monsters so obsessed with that specific spot? She redirects every remaining drone to Zone B2 immediately. They need visuals on whatever stopped the monsters' advance. Meanwhile, the bombardment in Zone B2 has gone silent. The whole area is just smoking ruins. Dust settles, and that one soldier finally works up the nerve to exit his vehicle. He pats his chest, unable to believe. He walked away from that explosion. He spots me and rushes over, hyped to talk, but I'm zoned in, staring dead ahead without blinking. I turn and tell him to get lost. Because if you're breathing, it means the monsters are breathing too, and they're coming straight for us. Suddenly, my eyes narrow. Incoming. A projectile screams through the air. Just before it takes the soldier's head off, I shove him into the dirt. We look closer. It's not a rock. It's a military drone. The soldier is shook. Since when do monsters swat down drones? That's impossible. That's never happened in the history of these raids. I tell him to save the shock. The real show is just starting. He looks up and his jaw drops. Hundreds of them. A literal wall of monsters slowly marching our way. The soldier's heart practically explodes. What is this? They've never grouped up like an army before. And their levels. Insane. Level 50. Level 60. This is the elite squad, and that massive leader in the back is a level 90 boss. The soldier's legs give out. He hits the ground hopeless. It's over. No way we're leaving this alive. I tell him to quit doom spiraling. If the airstrikes didn't work, I've got a backup plan. And honestly, mine is way simpler than dropping bombs. I'm just gonna beat them until they stop moving. I don't waste another second. I launch myself forward. I shout for the soldier to hide in the jeep. I become a blur, and every time I pass a monster, they get absolutely wrecked. But they're just obstacles. My eyes are locked on the big boss. There's a figure standing on its shoulder. Time to see who's pulling the strings. I sprint, but a tank-sized monster cuts me off, swinging a massive iron hammer at my skull. Bad move. It doesn't expect me to catch the hammer with one hand. I scoff internally. You really thought a basic attack like that would leave a scratch? Pathetic. In a split second, I launch this level 60 beast into the sky. Gravity hasn't even caught up before I slam it back down into the concrete. I don't stop. I charge. Straight at the figure on the boss's shoulder, leaking a terrifying, murderous aura. The monster panics, raising a shield to block my path. Cute, but to me that shield might as well be paper. I cock my fist back, channeling every ounce of power. Boom! The level 60 defender gets obliterated by a single punch. Its head doesn't just break, it detonates. Instant. Red mist. I land on the shoulder, standing face to face with the figure. And I can't help but, I'm freaking out. Major red flag here, this guy has absolutely zero aura. It's like looking at a void. If he wasn't standing right in front of my face, I wouldn't even know he existed. This situation just went from bad to complicated. And his power level, he's not just another mob. This guy is in a completely different league compared to those trash monsters. Then a crisp voice cuts through the air. Finally. I've been waiting for you. Blink and you miss it, the head I just smashed. It's knitting itself back together. Snap. Good as new. Like I barely tickled him. But the regen isn't the crazy part. This thing isn't just a beast. It speaks. Fluent English. Thief. Give it back. I'm stunned. What is he blabbering about? Robbed you, when he just lets out this twisted, creepy cackle. Suddenly, crimson energy flares up, exploding from his palm. He screams that I stole his loot, and now I gotta pay with my life. Out of nowhere, pitch-black blades materialize behind me. Weapon summoning cute. Crack. I catch the blade and crush it like a soda can. Pathetic. That toothpick couldn't even scratch my skin, let alone break my defense. I lock eyes with him. If that's your best shot, you're already dead. I flip his own shattered weapon back at him. Drop the hood. Let's see who's hiding under there. Boom, the giant beast rushes me. Its massive paw slams onto my shoulder, trying to crush me with sheer brute force. Overhead, a drone buzzes, capturing every frame of this showdown. Cloak Guy glances up board. Human tech, a spy drone. Are they watching me? Meanwhile, I don't even flinch. As the giant pushes down, I shove back hard. I launch myself straight at the hooded figure. You want me dead? Try harder. Because this weak sauce isn't gonna cut it. But he just stands there looking bored. I scoff. Funny. After grinding for 500 years to become the Abyss King, my first day back on Earth. And I'm getting looked down on. Yeah, right. I lunge to impale him, expecting blood, but poof, he vanishes into thin air like smoke. My blade meant for his chest slams into the giant monster's shoulder instead. What the? How did he dodge that? He rematerializes at the monster's feet, looking annoyed. Filthy humans watching me. It's disgusting. Slowly, the hooded guy raises his hand, swirling currents of air around his fingers. He's not just summoning weapons. He's puppeteering these beasts. One gesture and the command is given. Destroy the drone. Wipe out the witnesses. Cut to a blown-out building nearby. A soldier is hiding frantically, piloting. The drone, his eyes glued to the chaos outside. Suddenly static. Signal lost. Drone down. But he got the footage. He replays the clip, fixated on my silhouette. He realizes, that guy, he's why the monsters turned back. His eyes go wide. No way. Is that the hunter who soloed the beast wave? Even through a screen, the power radiating off him is insane. He reaches for his radio. Commander I, suddenly a massive claw creeps up behind him, but it doesn't strike. Instead, it gently pushes the door shut. Click. It's boxing him in, like a rat in a cage. The soldier freezes, total despair kicking in. They found him way too fast. Back outside, I spotted tentacled freaks scaling the building. Cloak Guy bursts out laughing. Feast my pets, kill them all. That's when the soldier's warning echoes in my head. A strong hunter could save everyone. That grunt. He risked his neck to tell me to run just so I could live to save others. I glance at his jeep, buried under rubble. Hopeless. Decision made. I dive bomb from the sky. Snake strategy. Cut off the head. If I drop the boss, the pack falls apart. No more hunting my people. I hit the ground hard. Time is lives. I need to zero this guy. Now. The giant behemoth swings at me again. I sidestep. Too slow, ugly. But something's off. Since merging with Hooded Guy, this monster's hitting power is. I'm already struggling to hold back this monster's relentless assault, but things are about to get worse. Suddenly, a mysterious figure blindsides me. I sense him closing in fast, but panic isn't an option. This guy is persistent. Does he really want me dead that badly? And then in the heat of the moment, I catch a glimpse of something shocking. This guy, he's my exact doppelganger. But there's no time to process that, because he just manifested a pitch-black longsword out of thin air. That is definitely bad news. I can feel the energy radiating off that blade. It is absolutely suffocating. It's surging with power. The stranger speaks, his voice dripping with malice. I'm ending you, Abyss Thief. I'm taking back everything I lost. He doesn't waste another second, hurling the blade straight at my heart. But I've already calculated the trajectory. The second he strikes, I snap my wrist and counter. My fist connects hard with his wrist crack. The shockwave forces his grip to slip. Perfect timing. My left hand snatches the falling blade before it hits the ground. He didn't see that coming. Weapon secured. I immediately shift into a stance, slashing back instantly. There is zero way he dodges this. Pure terror flashes across his face. I swing the blade with everything. I've got a clean, lethal arc. But nothing. No impact. No resistance. I didn't expect him to slip away like a ghost. His ability is insane. Never seen anything like it. He literally just nullified his physical form. But right now, I need to analyze this weapon. Maybe I'm tripping, but the energy humming inside this blade feels incredibly familiar. I focus on the aura again. No mistake. This sword is pulsing with the power of the abyss. Now that is a pleasant surprise. Who knew I'd find high-tier loot like this on the surface world? Looks like I scored big time. The hooded guy is fuming now, screaming, "You're nothing but a scavenger stealing other people's weapons." A split second later, he flicks his claws in a weird gesture. And just like that, the sword in my hand disintegrates into ash. So that's how Abyss Authority works. There's clearly a ton of mechanics I haven't unlocked yet. The next round of this fight, it's gonna be brutal. But first, priority 1, get the soldier to safety. I ask him, "You scared of heights, kid?" He shakes his head no. Good. I hoist the entire vehicle over my head. Hang on tight because this ride is about to get extremely turbulent. I'm sprinting you back to headquarters, but I missed one detail. The hooded psycho is grinning like a maniac. I've got you now, he sneers. You just exposed your weakness. Trying to play hero, watch me slaughter him. Dark energy swirls in his palm. The strong don't exist to babysit the weak, he lectures. We exist to dominate. As he brings his hand down, I sense a massive energy spike directly behind me. This guy just won't quit. Even with my speed, that black sphere is tracking us. It's going to hit. I have to drop the car gently. Change of plans, I'm destroying that projectile first. I launch myself into the air, smash the orb, then save the soldier. I channel every ounce of power into my right fist. One shot, one kill. My fist collides with the black sphere, boom, I thought I nailed it. But there's no feedback, no impact. I look up and realize I just punched smoke. The real black orb was cloaked behind the fog, and then the sound of a scream from below shatters my focus. We're in trouble. It was a diversion. I can't be in two places at once and the hooded man's attack. It's already engulfed the vehicle. I scream at the top of my lungs, bail out, jump out of the car now. Better to break a leg than die in that box, but he doesn't know that black tendrils are already spawning inside the cabin. The villain's voice whispers right in the soldier's ear, don't be scared. Poor little lamb, I'm taking you home. Then I witness something straight out of a nightmare. Those tendrils. They instantly harden into spikes and skewer the entire vehicle from the inside out. Game over. The soldier didn't stand a chance. I rush to the wreckage, praying there's still a pulse. The hooded man is loving this. Oh, you mad, don't lose your cool now. Actually, scratch that. Your rage makes this so much sweeter. I snap the spikes with a furious swipe. But the moment I clear the debris, the soldier's body is just hanging there, suspended by the enemy's magic. Then his eyes snap open. He's moving. It's the vilest skill in the book, necromancy. He's reanimating the fresh corpse. The dead are walking. The hooded man struts like he's already won, flaunting his twisted power right in my face. Watching everyone you love drop dead right in front of you, eyes peeled helpless. He calls that feeling pure bliss. But he has no clue he just triggered a rage that's about to end him. Only one of us leaves this spot alive. I part my lips, voice cold. You get a kick out of crushing people's dignity too, huh? Total flashback to the high school bullies making my life hell. He sees the fury written all over my face, and the cloak-wearing creep just gets more hype. Don't state the obvious, kid. Where's the fun in that? Then he makes his move. A barrage of razor-sharp rocks shoots straight from his palm. I don't even flinch. I just tank the hits, letting them smash against me, knowing they won't scratch my HP. I play it cool on the outside, but inside I'm absolutely volcanic. Ready to blow. Whoosh. I vanish from the spot instantly. By the time I manifest again, I've hit the ground, locked in an attack stance. Trash like you doesn't deserve to breathe. Deep breath in. I channel every ounce of power I have into my right hook. Don't run now, coward. Let's settle this right here, life or death. I'm taking this to the bitter end. In a split second, Cloak Guy blinks out of existence, vanishing from the car. He's not dumb enough to tank a hit that heavy. Staying there would have been straight up suicide. Boom, I throw the punch anyway, ripping through the air like I'm trying to tear reality apart. Just the shockwave shatters his spike barrage. I grit, my teeth glaring. He better pray I don't get an opening, cause if I do, I'm crushing his skull like a grape. I snap out of it just in time to catch the falling soldier. He's gone, already dead, but I can't let them desecrate his body any further. Debris scatters everywhere from the impact. But here's the sick part, even though the soldier's dead, Cloak Guy is still pulling his strings like a puppet. Looking at the soldier, the guilt hits me like a ton of bricks. I'm so sorry I dragged you into this mess. I gently lay him down inside the car for safety. Rest easy, brother. I swear to the heavens I'm getting payback for you today. Soldier secured, now it's go time. You're next. A life for a life, blood for blood. Zoom. I burst forward, maxing out my speed stats. In the blink of an eye, I'm right in his face. He barely has time to flinch. But then something's off. My fist. It isn't connecting. He's using abyss energy to phase through my attacks. Before I can process it, his presence spikes right behind me. You noob. You can't even control the abyss yet, and you think you can take me. You've got a death wish. I smirk internally. Gotcha, idiot. You just walked right into my trap. I spin and launch a devastating... I coolly dust off my knuckles, watching the aftermath of my strike. I just caved his face in with a single punch, sending that caped clown ragdolling backward until he faceplants into the concrete with a sickening metallic crunch. I flick the blood off my hand like it's nothing. This guy, he's not even in my league. Seriously, where does he get off acting so high and mighty? Looks like he needed a brutal reality check to learn his place. Even while down, Hoodie is still desperately spamming his monster minions to wall me off. Classic stall tactics. He's staring at me totally shook, probably wondering, how did this trash actually hurt me? I don't give him time to process. I speed blitz right in front of him like a glitch in the Matrix. You moron. People evolve. Or are you too thick to learn anything? Today you're checking out permanently to pay for my brother's life. Now, the guy in the cape is trembling, pure horror in his eyes. He's never seen anyone level up this fast in real time. He knows if this drag-out fight continues, he's toast. So he leaps onto a monster's shoulder, trying to bail. Like, I'm gonna let that slide. I launch myself upward, matching his altitude in a heartbeat. You think you can just ghost me after murdering my brother? Not a chance. But this snake is trickier than I gave him credit for. The second I hit the air, he jukes downward. The hooded man is sweating bullets now. He realizes I'm way stickier than he imagined. My eyes are locked on him, radiating pure killing intent. You might slip through my fingers once, but let's see you dodge this. Next second, I bring the hammer down. I'm unloading a massive strike fueled by the cursed abyss itself. I am absolutely ending you today. The shockwave obliterates the monster's body instantly. But get this, the beast actually starts stitching itself back together. Oh hell no, not this time. My hands plunge into the monster's open wounds, physically grabbing the core. I rip that abyss energy straight out of its system. The monster stares at me terrified. How are you doing that without an abyss buff? Its body starts disintegrating into dust. I ignore it and dive bomb straight for the round. Caped coward. Don't even dream of escaping my range today. That move triggers him. Driven into a corner, he decides to pop his ultimate ability out of desperation. He screams Shadow Union, and suddenly every monster in the vicinity gets drained dry as he siphons their abyss power. A terrifying aura explodes from the hooded guy. He blasts me with a concentrated beam of abyss energy, blinding me instantly. Through the glare, I swear I see a silhouette blur past me. A second later, the dust settles and it's dead silent. The hooded guy, gone without a trace. I'm standing there stunned. Did he seriously burn a god-tier ultimate just to run away? I throw my shredded coat on the ground. My gear is trashed, but thank God the photo of my parents is safe. I rip open the car door, only to find the soldier inside is already gone. A cold corpse. Looks like the necromancy spell broke when the caster fled. I grab his dog tags, dig a quick grave, and bury him right there. His death is on me. I have to carry that weight. Thinking about that caped psycho who looks exactly like my twin, my blood boils. This isn't over. He absorbed all those shadows, meaning he could ambush me anytime. Plus, his threat about watching my loved ones die is living rent-free in my head. I need to get to the shelter fast. I can't let him beat me there. Without hesitation, I stomp the ground and launch forward. I'm moving like a lightning bolt, tearing toward Shelter 6. But what I don't realize is that our entire brawl was captured in 4K by a drone hovering above. 15 minutes later, Park Soo-jin pulls up to the scene. She barks orders to her squad to scour the area no rats allowed to. Slip the net. One soldier checks the drone footage, and his jaw hits the floor. The feed shows every single monster was systematically wiped out. Park Soo-jin, the legendary S-rank hunter, feels a chill run down her spine. She orders a full data dump immediately. She spots the battle scars on the terrain. That rookie hunter Lee Han-jun, the one they talked about, didn't just survive the bombardment, he soloed the entire monster nest. Honestly, even an S-rank would struggle to pull off a cleanup this clean. Boom. Right then, Park Soo-jin's subordinate strikes gold. He spots a drone lying on the ground, completely untouched. His gaze sharpens instantly. The SD card inside the machine. It's in mint condition. I can pull the data. Right. Now. 60 seconds later, Park Soo-jin is locked onto the drone footage. She scans the feed frame by frame, hunting for any glitch, any clue. And there he is, the soldier who reported to me earlier. Standing right beside him, a guy with stark white hair. That's gotta be our mystery hunter. While Park Soo-jin dissects the footage, her squad is busy down below, scavenging the loot dropped by the monsters. Suddenly, one grunt spots something radiating a deep purple glow. The item stats pop up in his vision. It's a white vial, a special energy potion that permanently buffs the user's magic power. Next, a white blade. An A-rank weapon, the ancient royal dagger. But the thing that really grabs him, the item that screams jackpot, is this golden box. Its stats completely unreadable. Era. Just as he reaches out to snag the loot, a voice creeps up from behind. Yo, what'd you find? He instantly clutches the treasures tight against his chest, stammering, nothing, found nothing. But before he can even blink, a figure from above drops down with a wicked cackle. The soldier flinches, terrified this guy is gonna blow his cover. The newcomer sizes up the box instantly. If I'm not mistaken, that loot dropped from the raid leader. Looks like a rare item. Can't even scan the stats, huh? A sly grin creeps across his face. Pocketing military property. That's a court-martial offense. You know the drill. The soldier's heart drops into his stomach. Is he gonna rat me out? I'm dead meat. Cornered. He proposes a deal. Let's split it. You snitch, you get 0. The guy looks satisfied with the terms and goes straight for the golden box. The soldier panics. Hey, that box definitely has a legendary item inside. I can't just give that up. The man grips his shoulder hard. You got 0 leverage here, pal. Either I pick first or I report you right now. Defeated, the soldier reluctantly hands over the golden box. Clutching the prize, the man's face twists into a sinister smirk. Finally, the puppet reliquary is mine. Meanwhile, after hoofing it for miles, I finally make it to shelter number 6. I scan the perimeter. Doesn't look like any monsters have hit this place lately. Security is tight. Heavy artillery positioned in the rear. Civilians coming and going look pretty chill. This shelter's definitely got some heavy hitters protecting it. I step forward to enter, but my mind drifts back to that hooded figure from earlier. I couldn't sense his presence at all. Actually, I don't sense any powerful aura here. But if this place didn't have elite guardians, it would have been wiped off the map ages ago. Right at that moment, a guy in a conical hat steps right in my path. I pause. Is this guy blind? Does he not know how to watch where he's walking? But nope, he's zeroing in on me. Your blood. It's so thick. You're from the outside world, aren't you? I give a curt nod. What do you want? I'm busy. No time for small talk. The man chuckles. In that case, let's make a deal. He flashes a wad of cash. I want to buy intel about the outside world from you. Fine by me. If it's something I know, I'll spill. Just as he starts looking smug, I cut in. But first, I've got a question for you. A monk speaking so formally. You gotta be a fake. The man bursts into laughter. Didn't expect to get busted that fast. The outfit. Just a hobby. I point a finger at his face. Is covering your eyes a hobby too? He looks thrown off. What a pain in the ass, he thinks. He pulls down the eye covering, revealing shut eyelids. Picked up an eye condition recently. Literally can't open them. But I'm not buying it. I can feel a terrifying light radiating from those slits. This guy is definitely more than meets the eye. He's got his reasons for hiding his power. Looks like this shelter is hiding a wolf in sheep's clothing. I don't push it. So what intel are you looking for? Finally, it's his turn to ask the questions. The guy's been holed up in this city for ages. He's itching to know the state of the world. He's clocked the armed troops gathering on the city walls. They're clearly shifting into combat readiness mode. He knows the average civilian. Hasn't realized it yet, but he heard explosions echoing from the distance. Piqued his curiosity. He wants the real scoop on what's going down out there. I pause, processing his words. This guy is sharp, sharper than I thought. Better keep my cards close to my chest for now. I let out a laugh. Honestly, I've got zero clue what went down out there. Just heard a massive boom coming from the southwest. Scared the living daylights out of me. Dropped my cards and had to MacGyver a map out of my shirt. This clearly throws the guy off. He mutters loud enough to hear, playing the weakling card, huh? Hiding your true strength. Still, he tosses me the cash for the intel. A general direction is all he needed. Solid help. He actually starts walking toward that vague spot without looking back. Curious what his endgame is. No telling how many heavy hitters like him are crawling around this city, so I gotta keep a low profile. Can't risk making a scene. It'd only mess up my search. Plus, there's another red flag. A shady character like me just breezing through town. That proves there are some serious individuals running the show here. Or maybe we're all just facing a bigger threat, so they've stopped sweating the humans. Time flies, suddenly night falls. I duck into a clothing store and blow some of that monk's cash. Picked up a trench coat. Gotta admit, it looks pretty sick. Putting it on gives me main character energy. Think that guy's name was Chen Xiaoyu, but whatever priority one is tracking down mom and dad. Scanning the area, this place is way more massive than I thought. Looks like high-tech searching isn't gonna cut it. Gonna have to go old school asking strangers. Fingers crossed this doesn't go sideways. I gently tap a lady on the shoulder. Excuse me, miss, ever seen this couple? But her reaction, total shock. She starts waving her hands like crazy, swearing she's never laid eyes on them. Then she bolts. I'm standing there totally stunned. That was way too dramatic. She acted like I just showed her a poltergeist. Suddenly, some dude comes up from behind, cursing up a storm. His loud mouth grabs my attention. Unbelievably, he beelines right for me, looking ticked off. You hitting on girls in the middle of the night. Pathetic. The second the word leaves his lips, I blink into existence right in his face, staring daggers. Watch your mouth, pal. We lock eyes and I can see the cold sweat instantly dripping down his face. This guy ain't a local. He points at my picture. What century is this? Who uses physical photos to pick up chicks these days? Lame, I shove the photo closer. Just answer the question. Have you seen these two? The guy freezes. You just harassing everyone you see, but mid-sentence, his voice cuts out. His face twists into pure horror. Where did you get that? He looks up trembling. What's your connection to them? My heart skips a beat. Finally, a lead. I immediately tell him the truth. I'm their son. Spiky hair squints, comparing my face to the kid in the picture, like he's playing Spot the Difference. You look nothing like him, he snaps, rolling up his sleeves, ready to throw hands. You playing games with me. Right then, a transport truck hauling monsters comes barreling through. The driver panics, slamming the brakes, but I don't even flinch. I ignore the chaos. The truck smashes into me with full force, bam, but I don't move a single inch. Spiky Hair's jaw hits the floor. He's looking at me like he can't decide if I'm a human or a ghost. I brush some dust off my shoulder. Sorry, missed that. What were you saying? The guy's tough guy act evaporates. He turns into a total puppy, bowing and scraping. He even pretends we're old pals. Oh, it's you. Long time no see. He points down the street. Just head straight that way, you can't miss it. Man, I even held you when you were a baby. Remember, I ignore his rambling and start walking. Appreciate it. Once I find them, I'll make it worth your while. Spiky hair forces a smile and waves. No need for that, friends. Help friends, right? No reward necessary. But the second I turn around, he sprints the opposite direction like his pants are on fire. That screams trouble. Gotta warn the crew, I'm a little confused. Even a low-level thug knows where my house is. It's wild. But thinking back, it makes sense. Dad was always super friendly to literally everyone. Probably left a huge impression on people just by being his usual chatty self. Mom was the same way, always looking out for the neighbors. But people that kind, they just get eaten alive in a world like this. I clench my fists tight. My parents are good people. But me, I'm not. Now that I'm back, I'm their shield. Nobody messes with them while I'm breathing. After a short walk, I pause at the corner. This matches the spot Spiky Hair pointed out. Weirdly, the street is dead silent. No people. Just a massive imposing wall blocking the entrance. Do they seriously live in a fortress? Looks pretty high-end. Just judging by the gate, Mom and Dad must be balling out in this city. Guess they haven't been struggling after all. Relief washes over me as I knock on the heavy door. Showtime. It hits me instantly. That voice. It's echoing from inside. Familiar but feeling like it's a million miles away. 500 years. 5 centuries since I heard that sound. It's Dad. He's probably talking to Mom. Did you wrap up? Your shift early today. He swings the door open, expecting a warm welcome from his wife, but instead, he gets a face full of me. Standing there, white hair flowing. As soon as I lock eyes with him, I freeze too. Dad. He's weathered. He's changed way more than I pictured. His confusion morphs into pure rage in a split second. His face twists up. Who the hell are you? You're blocking me from greeting my wife. He stares me down, drilling holes into my soul, but there's zero recognition. Can't blame the guy. 500 years of trauma changes a man. I haven't aged a day, but I'm not the same kid he knew. Dad, it's me. It's your son. Did you really forget? He flinches, caught off guard. Then he scoffs. You think I'm an idiot. My boy doesn't have white hair. He drags me into the living room. We sit down, and the silence is deafening. Mom breaks the tension, walking in with tea. Dad finally speaks, voice low and suspicious. I don't buy it. You look nothing like our son. We're gonna need to run some tests. I let out a dry chuckle. What kind of tests are we talking about, Dad? He insists I've changed too much, so now we have to swap. Father-son secrets. Only family intel will convince him. But here's the kicker. His eyes dart to the ceiling. The shadow unit is hiding up there. One wrong word and they take me out. Cute. He doesn't realize. I clock every move he makes. He's still on high alert. Honestly, the tight security makes me feel better. Dad's been handling business while I was gone. All right, time for our exclusive secrets. I actually feel bad for the assassin up there, because that poor guy is about to hear some things he really shouldn't. Round 1, I announce. Every weekend, you sneak off to the home economic support group. For cooking lessons, Dad freezes. How do you know that up in the rafters, the shadow unit leader is shook? He never pictured the big boss apron-clad whisking eggs at a community center. That's just the appetizer. Here's the main course, I grin. You take ballet classes, every single week. The assassin in the ceiling wishes he was dead right now. He's wondering if he's making it out of this room alive. He just cannot process the image of the boss doing pirouettes. Dad shoots a death stare at the ceiling, eyes screaming. You picture me in a tutu, and you're dead. Locking eyes with Dad, the shadow leader feels a phantom blade pressing against his throat. Shivers run down his spine. The room gets incredibly awkward. Dad clears his throat, still playing it safe. Stalkers can find out schedules. That proves nothing. I laugh out loud at that. Okay, how about I drop some real family dirt? Dad's eyes widen just a fraction. If you know something, spit it out. Oh, I know things. But don't say I didn't warn you. Are you sure you want an audience for this? Specifically him. I see sweat beading on Dad's forehead. He actually stammers. Just say it. I spin around and point to the weapon rack. That legendary katana. It's a cheap replica. Hearing the word replica, the assassin starts sweating. Bullets. Panic flashes in Dad's eyes, but he doubles down. Don't mess with me. You got proof it's fake. You want proof. I stand up and grab the blade. This handle has teeth marks from my brother, the shadow leader's. Heart is pounding out of his chest. He knows he's a dead man walking, because he knows the official legend. The boss supposedly held that sword in his mouth, hands tied, and slaughtered 38 enemies. He's realizing the legend is a lie. With a swift motion, I whip the sword out. The assassin tenses, ready to pounce, thinking this is his moment to save the boss. But I casually press the blade into my palm. Click. If I remember right, this thing is retractable. See toy sword. Dad snaps. You little bastard. The next second he tackles me, burying his face in my chest. We thought you were dead. We searched for years. We couldn't find you. The tough guy act crumbles. He's sobbing like a baby. That look, that's pure unfiltered relief. Our boy is finally home, ever since I vanished. Mom and Pops never gave up the hunt. Dad tore through every landmark looking for clues, accidentally becoming a mob boss in the process. But look at this tough guy now crying rivers. Talk about a total character break. Hey, can someone get that peeping Tom off the roof? Up there, the Shadow Team captain is absolutely losing his mind. He's never seen the boss act like this. We're talking about a dude who bathed in blood and carnage, a literal god of war. Flashbacks are hitting the captain hard, and then it clicks. He has never ever seen the big man shed a single tear. If he told the crew about this soft moment, they'd laugh in his face. Watching from the shadows, his gut screams danger. Cold sweat is pouring down his forehead like a faucet. Being here feels riskier than the depths of hell. He's gotta bail fast, before they silence him permanently. But just as he tries to ghost, crash, a hand smashes through the ceiling and locks onto his ankle. I look up at the shadow leader, flashing $1 million smile. What's the rush? My old man wants a word. Why don't you do us the honor and come down? Cut to us 4 at the table. Dad turns to the shadow operative. Out of all my minions, you've got the biggest mouth. You know the drill, right? I finish Dad's sentence seamlessly. If this intel leaks, you pay the price. We say it in perfect unison. The shadow leader. Dude is probably seeing his life flash before his eyes. I swear, my lips are sealed. Please have mercy. I mean, even a blind guy could see the family resemblance. If these two aren't father and son, reality is broken. While Dad and I are radiating pure murder vibes, Mom's voice floats in like a melody. You two. Play nice. Stop scaring the poor man. The shadow leader looks at her with puppy dog eyes, like she's the only sane one here. But hold up that smile on Mom's face, it's terrifying. One word gets out, and even I can't save you. The shadow captain nods so fast his head might fly off, vowing total amnesia. I've already forgotten I was here. Then Dad snaps at Mom. Glad he didn't mention I farted or snored while sleeping. Honey, why are you exposing yourself like that? Watching this chaos, I can't help but grin. This right here, this is exactly what I dreamed of for 500 years in the abyss. It's finally real. I'm back, and the fam is safe. Mission objective, keep it that way. Suddenly, my senses tingle. Movement outside. Boom. The front door gets kicked in by some spiky-haired punk. He's got a squad of mean-looking goons behind him. Boss, looking for a white-haired kid. Dude's a monster. Wrecked a whole truck. But the second the door opens, his jaw hits the floor. Seeing me chilling, tranquilly with my parents was not on his bingo card. I glance over my shoulder. You talking about me. When you say white-haired kid, he freezes. He takes a closer look and realizes I'm the exact demon from his memory. The color drains from his face. Boss. That's him. That guy is unnatural. He tanked a truck, and the truck lost. Then he stammers. You might be strong, but we've got the numbers. You can't take us all. He doesn't even realize his knees are knocking together like castanets. Meanwhile, I'm unbothered treating him like background noise. Spiky hair keeps yelling, what are you? Planning with our boss you with the Tiger Roar Guild, I reach out and grab his knees. Relax, buddy. Stop shaking the furniture. I stand up, unleashing a wave of pressure that rattles his soul. I give him a friendly pat. You work for my dad, right? Pops introduced me to the team. Dad laughs, breaking the tension. Don't panic, this is my boy Choi. Yuk-do. Gone for 5 years, but he's back. His current rank is, Dad freezes. It hits him. He has zero clue about my stats. Epic parenting fail. He's been out of the loop way too long. But with his crew watching, he can't look clueless. That would be embarrassing. So, I step in to save the day. Drop a bomb that terrifies everyone. I don't have a system, so I have no idea what my level is. The goons are floored. You survived the Fallen Zone for 5 years with no hacks. No system, dude. How are you even breathing right now? Spiky hair looks like his brain just short-circuited. He's completely lost for words. The logic is simple. No system means you hit a hard cap at level 10, no matter how hard you grind. I actually laugh in his face. I don't know what perks this system gives you guys, but let's be real. Can a level 10 tank a speeding truck? Doesn't seem likely. Long hair steps out from behind, spiky hair dropping a slow whisper. Wait, didn't you hype this guy up as a powerhouse? So how is he basically an NPC with zero system? Spiky hair shuts up, doubting his own eyes. Maybe he hallucinated the whole thing, but deep down, he knows I'm a monster. He felt that pressure. Still, the curiosity is eating him alive. How does a guy this strong exist off the grid? Look, I just clawed my way back from the abyss. I have no clue how their little game interface works. So I tell Spiky Hair, go ahead, scan me, check my level. That freezes him cold. He starts stammering an explanation. You might not know this since you're systemless, but you're missing the basics. Players with the system get a HUD stats monster, levels the works. But other humans, they're blank. Unless you have the specific inspect skill, you can't peep at someone else's build. And that skill is SSR rarity. Super scarce. Turns out my old man is one of the lucky few. I lock eyes with him. All right then, Dad, scan me. I'm actually curious if his Earth-based skill can even process data from the abyss. The tension builds for a heartbeat. The whole room watches Dad swiping and tapping at thin air. To them, he looks crazy, but he's navigating a UI only he can see. Since the system is private, nobody else sees the readout. I turn to Mom. Don't you want to peek at my stats? She just shakes her head. I just want my son back. That's the only stat that matters. But the second those words leave her lips, what the hell? Dad's voice booms through the hall. His system panel is glitching out nothing but a string of red question marks. It can't pull a single byte of data on me. He's looking at his hands like they're broken, refreshing the window over and over. Same result. Error. Dad holds up 2 fingers, his face pale. Theory 1. You genuinely don't have a system. Theory 2. He swallows hard, actually terrified. Your level is so much higher than mine that it breaks the scale. Basically, I'm out of his league. Hearing the boss say that, the entire room of hunters turns into statues. Their guildmaster is already a literal war god, and he just admitted his kid might be stronger. It's insane, Dad clarifies. The interface is blocking your stats and skills, but it displays your name clearly. That confirms it. It's not a bug. It's a power gap. Theory 2 is the winner. You survived the abyss for 5 years, Dad mutters. If you were a rookie, you'd be dead in 5 minutes, let alone 5 years. You have to be stronger than me. Then he asks the question I was dreading. What exactly happened down there? Flashbacks hit me like a train. Blood darkness, endless fighting. My expression goes pitch black. Mom steps in like a guardian angel. Stop grilling him. He's home safe. Isn't that enough? We should be celebrating. She's always been the one believer. In her eyes, I was never weak. She knew I could survive anything, but looking at me now, she knows exactly how much hell I had to walk through to get back to her. Hearing her voice breaks me. My vision blurs. For them, it was 5 years, but for me, I missed her for 500 agonizing years. Every slash, every kill, every nightmare in the abyss flashes by. But holding her now, it was worth every second of torture. I can't stop the tears. I grab her tight. I'm not going anywhere, Mom. I'm staying right here. I'm going to protect you. She collapses into my arms, sobbing. The floodgates just open. She's crying a literal waterfall of relief. Even the war god tears up seeing this. He turns to his squad, waving them off. Get out. Give them a moment. Clear the room. He barks an order. No disturbances for the rest of the day. 0. Because tonight the guildmaster is cooking a massive feast to welcome his boy home. Once the room finally clears out, it's just the family. We catch up, but something feels off. Hey Mom, where's bro? I haven't seen him since I walked in the door. A cold feeling hits my gut. Mom waves it off. Oh, don't overthink it. He's alive and kicking. He just doesn't visit much since he enlisted in the military. But since you're back, I really should call him home for dinner. She shows me a picture of him on her phone. He's been on the front lines fighting like a maniac. Mom says it's like he was trying to avenge my death the whole time. That sounds like him. Growing up, he was my shield. He always stood in front of me. Nobody touched me when he was around. After we talk for a while, I finally ask the burning question. Mom, be real with me. Is your status here like super high? She nods casually, dropping a bomb. Pretty high. I awakened the full priest inheritance. That explains why everyone was so terrified. They're completely under my command. Plus, I'm running a high-tier healer build with massive support buffs. But the real kicker, I unlocked the prophecy skill. Hearing Mom drop that lore bomb leaves me absolutely shook. Wait, since you're a priest, can you scan my status window? But she shuts that down. Wrong skill tree. Then how'd you know I was coming back? You literally had a fresh outfit and a letter waiting in my room. Mom gently cups my face. You dummy. Didn't I just tell you I can see the future? I saw a vision of your return. She chuckles softly. I tried telling your dad, but he thought I was hallucinating. He spent every day grinding from dawn till dusk looking for you and somehow ended up becoming the boss around here. Sadly, prophets can't spoil their own ending without taking massive recoil damage. The skill has crazy cooldowns and strict activation requirements, so I can't just spam it. Just then, the camera pans outside, uninvited guests pulling up, the leaders rocking a nasty scar. Dad spots them and rolls out with his squad to meet them. Welcome back, brother. This guy is Han Tae-san, vice president of the United Guild. But Dad notices the vibe is off. Why the long face? Trouble in paradise. Dad leans in whispering, what's the sit trip I sent spies out to dig up dirt? What'd they find? Han Tae-san keeps it low-key. It's exactly what you thought. Tiger Roar is in bed with the military. Boss, we need to make a move. We turned in the monster loot. Like normal, but that guy with the clipboard started acting super sketchy during inspection. They claimed our kills were too damaged to accept. Total scam. Just endless excuses. They pay us peanuts and report the full value to their superiors. We trace the corruption and it all leads back to Tiger Roar. Dad nods, looking like he just solved the puzzle. Got it. Confirms my theory. If a neutral guild, like Tiger Roar, is pulling these stunts, things are getting messy. But we can't just let them walk all over us. The whole town's future is on the line. Dad doesn't look stressed though. Worst case scenario, we throw hands. But priority 1 is feeding our guests. Suddenly, Dad extends his hand, whoosh, a sword materializes, manifesting instantly in his grip. After we feast, I'm paying Tiger Roar a personal visit to shut this down permanently. You can see the pure killing intent in Dad's eyes. Time to remind them the United Guild isn't soft. Hearing the name Tiger Roar, my expression turns icy. Thanks to that black shard, my stats are overclocked. My strength is up, but my senses, they're on another level. I'm picking up audio from way out. Turns out those bandits I wrecked earlier are linked to Tiger Roar too. I glance at Dad. Since he's heading into a negotiation, I'm low-key worried, because I don't know his power scaling yet. I kick the door open and intercept him. You're grabbing food, right? I'm starving. Mind if I crash the party? And after dinner, I'm rolling with you to Tiger Roar. I want to see who has the guts to mess with us. Hante-san looks totally confused. This white-haired kid has a suffocating aura, but he's a total stranger. Dad steps up to introduce me. This is my son, Choi Yuk-do. He's been missing for 5 years. Bad news though, he never awakened a system. Hante-san is floored. Surviving 5 years out there without a system, no way. He locks eyes with me, stunned. No system, so he's just an NPC, a normal human. Would be dead in 3 days out in the wasteland. Maybe with elite stats and survival perks. It's possible, but without combat skills. Once the fighting starts, he's just dead weight. Hante-san hides his doubts and forces a loud laugh. That's great news, but since you just got back, maybe sit this raid out and rest. Rest up. Dad sides with Hante-san, basically ordering me to stay grounded and play bodyguard to Mom. Mom chuckles, backing him up. Listen to your father, she teases, reminding me I haven't even had the grand tour of our own crib yet. It hits me they really see me as just some average Joe. I saw this coming. Unless you've got high-level intel, my stats read civilian to anyone scanning with the system. But stepping back, I'm flying blind here. I barely know the layout or the politics of this shelter. And if the threats out there are as nightmare fuel as I suspect, laying low is the play. Flexing my true power now would just paint a target on my parents' backs. So I play along. Fine. I nod. But take the uncles with you. Dad agrees, but the guy standing behind me, total buzzkill, written all over his face. He's practically seething inside, realizing he just missed a front row seat to the main show my skills. And he's blaming Hante-san for ruining the reveal. Dude is definitely throwing silent curses his way. Meanwhile, Dad rallies the squad, and they roll out toward the Tiger Roar Guild, looking ready to kick down doors and demand answers. Watching them fade into the distance, my gut tightens. I just got my family back. I can't shake the anxiety. The last thing I need is Dad walking into a trap. Mom catches my vibe immediately. Relax, she soothes. Your father is a beast. He sidelined you for your own safety. Just chill here with me. Truth is, I'm on the same page as her. We went through hell to finally find each other, and neither of us wants to roll the dice on safety right now. She gently pats my head, giving me that mom knows best look. Trust me, he's stronger than you think. Then she drops a bomb. She uses her prophecy skill every month just to check his status. As long as I see him alive in next month's vision, I don't stress. Okay, that's reassuring, but I gently dodge the head pats. Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. You're killing my street cred here. Still, precognition isn't bulletproof. Tiger Roar is bedfellows with the military. Down the line, Dad's gonna face way more heat from them. I turn to her, needing the lowdown. What's the actual deal with this shelter? And why is Tiger Roar beefing with us? She breaks it down. After Judgment Day hit some awakened guy, launched the Hunters Guild, and started running this place alongside the military. Then your dad built the United Guild. He partnered with the army in Shelter 6 for one reason: to find you. The United Guild blew up because Dad hit a nerve. He promised to help everyone reunite with their lost families. That loyalty is real. So our crew handles the grunt work, keeping the peace, scavenging the wilds, clearing mobs, while the military focuses on the big raids and climbing the towers. Your father has a soft heart, she adds, and he refuses to send his people into the dimensional cracks to die. That's how they survived the last 4 years, dodging the suicide missions while slowly leveling up their forces. But the vibe shifted a few months back. The Tiger Roar Guild rolled in from Shelter 4 to set up a franchise. Since then, it's been non-stop drama between Dad's crew and their goons. Petty squabbles, all-out brawls, it never ends. But something doesn't add up. If the military runs this joint, why aren't they stepping in to squash the beef between these guilds? The hard truth. The monsters out there are evolving. The military is losing its grip. But Tiger Roar was built for one thing: tower conquest. They're so OP that the military has no choice but to simp for them. The intel inside those towers is basically gold dust, and the brass can't afford to lose access. Plus, Tiger Roar has a trump card, an awakened chosen by the tower god itself. They call him an Eslar. He's the chosen one, the literal MVP of Tiger Roar, packing terrifying stats. But wait, Mom, said Tower God, that throws me for a loop. Since when are actual deities part of the lore? She explains the Tower God is the master of the spire. To us mere mortals, that entity is basically a god. If you clear their impossible trials, you ascend. You become an Eslar and get gifted divine powers. Out here in the wasteland, they call them God's messengers. Inside the tower, they're guardians. And here's the kicker, Tiger Roar is stacking these guys. They have multiple Eslars on the roster. Since each one is a one-man army, Tiger Roar just swallowed up every smaller guild nearby. Your dad's crew has the people's hearts, sure, but they haven't conquered a single tower. But here's the kicker, we're the only crew in the Alliance rolling without a healer. That's a straight-up death wish, and the vibes are bad. Still, something super sus. If everyone loves the United Guild so much, why are they acting like a full-blown crime syndicate? Mom just laughs it off, claiming it's just her personal aesthetic. Okay, suddenly everything clicks. Turns out Mom's low-key obsessed with gangster culture. The guild she built is practically dripping with that outlaw energy. She tells me to chill, saying as long as the squad is happy, who cares? Then she gently shoves me forward, ordering me to hit the showers and get some shut-eye. We can chat later. If you need someone to scrub your back, just holler. Yeah, right. Like I'm gonna let anyone do that. Major cringe. Once she bounces, I'm alone in the room, but my brain won't shut off. I activate my perception skill to track Mom's location. A massive pulse of abyssal energy ripples out from my core. My radar confirms it. Mom actually bailed. I only agreed to crash here earlier because I didn't realize how sketchy things were. But now I gotta back up, Dad, or I'll never be able to relax. I slide the window open. If I dip now, I can catch up to the old man in no time. I leap out, vanishing into the night. But back at the house, Mom catches a glimpse of my silhouette. Her expression gets complicated. Everyone told you to rest, but you never listen. Still a troublemaker, just like when you were a kid. Meanwhile, Dad is leading his crew toward the Tiger Roar Guild, radiating pure killing intent. I'm tailing them from the shadows. I take the high ground, scoping out Dad's team. Since everything outside the central zone is pitch black, spotting him is easy. But suddenly my vision blurs into double, and a wave of dizziness hits me hard. This is wrong. Ever since I got buffed by the Abyss fragment, I don't even get sick. How am I? Feeling this woozy. Then a familiar voice cuts through. Seed of the Abyss. There is no escape. I snap my head around, scanning for that hooded creep. But this guy is slippery, completely masking his presence. I can't sense a thing. Pure rage floods my system. I can't believe he actually stalked me all the way to Shelter 6. Just as I'm seeing red, the vertigo spikes again. And then, his voice echoes. I won't let you run, Seed of the Abyss. Your soul is already mine. Nothing I mark can hide from my sight. Suddenly, I see his head. Hovering right over my shoulder, I swing instantly, my fist smashing through the hooded figure's skull. But I connect with nothing. My fist phases right through him like smoke. Not his real body. The hooded freak cackles maniacally. Your soul carries my mark. You can't escape my grasp. I analyze the apparition and realize it's like a glitched code, just looping the same lines and that cursed creepy face. My shouting is starting to draw a crowd. Hey, what are you doing up there? You gonna jump? Their high-beam flashlights blind me. I bolt, leaping away and vanishing instantly. While I'm dashing through the air, I notice the creepy face is gone. I skid to a halt. Time to investigate this. If he's actually nearby, I'm in deep trouble. But here's the twist, the second I stop moving, the cloaked figure pops up again, repeating the same line. I've got a theory. Could he have vanished earlier because of those bright flashlights? I need to run an experiment. I step under a street lamp and thrust my arm into the light. My calculations say, stay in the dark for 7 seconds, and the soul mark triggers. Or if I lose my cool, the mark might activate too. Seriously, what a pain. To test it, I cover the soul mark with my other hand, plunging it into darkness for 7 seconds. Boom, called it. The cursed head reappears. But this time, I mirror his creepy expression and mimic his lines perfectly. Your soul is marked, you can't escape. Seed of the Abyss. A random pedestrian sees this and calls me a crazy edgelord kid. Guess I'm the only one who can see this ugly face. As I step back into the light, a piercing noise starts screaming in my brain. After a minute, the mark fades out. That creepy severed head is gone. He definitely branded my soul with that touch. Back at the crib, the lights were blazing, so I never clocked it earlier. But my hunch is solid. I've never dealt with this kind of voodoo before. It has to work like that. Still, it's stressing me out. How do I shake this ghost off my back? That hooded creep likely tagged me so he can track my location whenever he wants. Means he could jump me at any second. I can't let my guard down, not even for a blink. The guy is a walking red flag. Priority 1, I need to locate Dad immediately. As for this ugly mug haunting me, I'll ignore it. Step into the light, and it vanishes. Theory confirmed. Darkness triggers it, light kills it. But if Mom's right and the military dropped the United Guild, Dad is walking into a death trap. Suddenly, I remember that monk I ran into during the day. I don't know how many heavy hitters are hiding in the shelter, but if the Tiger Roar Guild teamed up with the army, they aren't just chilling. They're plotting a full wipeout of the United Guild. If that's the play, I'll body every single one of them to keep mom and dad safe. Anyone threatening us gets deleted. Still, the thought makes me look grim. I'd give anything to rewind to the boring, peaceful days when we were just a normal family. Day by day, finally pulling up on Dad's location. They're posted right outside the Tiger Roar HQ. I don't join in though. I slide behind a concrete pillar, keeping it stealth. Gotta see how the old man handles diplomacy with these goons. Violence is the final option. That was the golden rule Dad drilled into me. Back then, I only half listened, mostly because I was a kid who couldn't throw a punch. Now I'm wondering if he's actually gonna throw down. If he does, I'm jumping in. Suddenly, the crowd gets rowdy. Looks like the talks are starting. I peek out. Two guild dudes in the front are grinning like idiots, barely holding back their excitement. Then I see Dad, hand hovering over his weapon. The pressure dropping off him is insane. Whispers start flying among the crew about the time Dad carved a 60-foot scar into an enemy. Dad speaks up and his eyes are pure murder. Park Tae-jun, I'm at your front door. You too scared to come out and say hello. Shing. The blade clears the scabbard in a blur. The second that steel is exposed, a terrifying wave of power washes over the street. High-pitched, screaming steel rips through the air, launching a sonic boom straight at the HQ. Following the sound is a massive arc of sword energy. A split second later, boom, debris everywhere. The entire skyscraper is sliced clean in half. At this moment, Dad's warm family man face is gone. Nothing left but endless killing, intent, and dominance. Han Tae-san watches, stone-faced, while the minions behind him absolutely lose their minds with hype. My jaw hits the floor. Mom wasn't lying. Dad is actually a monster. Guess I didn't need to stress about him. Slowly, he slides the sword back into its sheath. The top half of the building starts sliding off the diagonal cut. Dad speaks calm but deadly. Been a while since I flexed. Y'all thought we were washed up. Bold move bullying my crew like that. I nudge one of Dad's lackeys standing nearby. Yo, is he always this intense? The guy looks at Dad like he's a god. You serious? The boss is famous for throwing the first punch. That throws me off. Wait, doesn't he preach that violence is the last resort? The grunt nods like, yeah, he gave us that speech too. But that was his old philosophy. Back when he actually trusted the military to do their job. Times changed. What happened next was wild. Every time our guys stepped into army territory, it was instant beef. Non-stop conflicts. Constant battles totally rewired the boss's brain. His new motto, violence isn't the answer, it's the solution. It's just faster. If you can't win the brawl, talking is a waste of breath. Punch first, ask questions, never. That's the boss's new code, and we ride or die with it. But listening to the scouts report, I'm starting to think Pops is moving a little too reckless. Take that monk guy, real power usually moves in silence, right? So why is Dad sprinting headfirst into every dumpster fire instead of playing it cool? Watching his back as he marches forward, maybe I got it twisted. When you're built different like Dad, you don't need stealth, you just dominate the server. Or maybe that monk just played me like a fiddle. Could be, he's secretly an absolute monster, just waiting to flex. Man, I still don't know how this world works. Cut to a silhouette perched on a rooftop nearby. He's watching choppers haul off a massive monster carcass like it's trash day. The monk rips off his blindfold. Green flare. His auspicious eye ability kicks in. He's scanning a level 90 boss that got absolutely obliterated. 0 burn marks, just brute force. Yeah, that's the beast I took down earlier. He covers up, exhaling a heavy sigh. This server is crawling with monsters in human skin. It's genuinely terrifying. Note to self, stay paranoid, stay alive. Meanwhile, back at the scene, smoke is still curling off the stronghold, Dad sliced open. The squad is posted up, waiting for the Tiger Roar guild leader. Finally, the doors open. The guy leading the pack comes out swinging, verbal haymakers calling Dad every name in the book. He screams, "You think this is the old days when we first built this shelter? Wake up." That strikes a nerve. Dad's face darkens with ugly memories. "Oh, things changed all right," he snaps. "Mostly cause roaches like you started crawling out of the woodwork." The second he finishes, Dad's blade twitches upwards. "I should have ended you back then. Saved myself the headache." The guy just laughs off the threat. "So do it, or are you too scared? That's the trigger." Veins pop on Dad's forehead. "You think I won't drop you right here, Schwing?" Dad's blade clears the scabbard. Energy crackles along the steel. Park Tae-hyun is physically shaking. He knows Dad could one-shot him instantly. His heart is hammering against his ribs. "I pushed him too far. You guys need to dip now." Wait, is he not mad enough? Park Tae-hyun swallows his fear and doubles down on the disrespect. "Look at you, coward. Can't even swing your sword right. Come on, hit me. Let's see if you have the guts." Park is spiraling now. "A weakling like you isn't fit to lace the Tiger Roar Guild's boots." That did it. Dad snaps. He grips the hilt, rushing Park Tae-hyun like a freight train. But right before impact, Park pops his ultimate, a divine shield that tanks the hit dead on. In that split second, a shadowy figure and Park share the exact same thought, hook, line, and sinker. Suddenly, a dude steps out from the shadows, Freeze, it's a level 63 assassin. He barks, you got some nerve. Starting a war inside the safe zone, the guild members are shook. Is that a military officer? Why are the feds here? Are they siding with Tiger Roar? I clocked the level 63 assassin. He's definitely military backing the enemy, and this ain't no accident. I glance up at the building. My gut tells me that place is packed with campers waiting for a signal. Pops is in deep trouble. This guy didn't just wander in. This is a scripted event. A trap laid out way in advance. Just waiting for Dad to step on the landmine. The fight halts instantly. Total standoff. Dad knows he got played. But the real twist, he never thought the military would dump the United Guild to get in bed with Tiger Roar. That killer's smirk, it's practically glued to his face. According to Article 15 of the Shelter Safety Act, throwing hands inside the safe zone is a strict no-go. Violators are looking at 15 days in the slammer minimum. If things get ugly, you could be facing execution. So, are you gonna follow orders now? Dad reads the room instantly. So that's the playbook. First, bait him into a fight, then use the law to slap cuffs on him the second he pushes back. It's a high-level setup happening right out in the open. Watching that assassin's stone-cold poker face, Dad's honestly shook. Is this guy seriously not worried about his corruption leaking? The audacity is actually impressive. He's framing him in 4K absolutely shameless. Dad knows once he's behind bars, they can stretch that sentence until the end of time, or just make him vanish in some unfortunate accident. Getting captured is absolutely not an option. The second he's gone, the Tiger Roar Guild will swipe his turf and assets like free loot while he rots in a cell. Even his wife and kid would be caught in the crossfire. But why is the military working so hard to flip the board? Is there a civil war brewing inside the army ranks? If that's true, we're talking nightmare fuel. Even if Dad doesn't have the full picture yet, he knows the winning move. Deny everything. After a split second of processing, Dad busts out laughing right in the assassin's face. Yo, I think you got it twisted. We don't have beef. Zero conflict here. As a loyal supporter of the United Guild, I can't cop to crimes without receipts. Officer, you feel me? The officer cracks up. Oh, you want receipts? All right, let me show you exactly what I got. See that sword gash on the wall up there? You carved that masterpiece just a second ago. That's your smoking gun. Dad goes into full gaslight mode. You gotta be joking, officer. How does that possibly count as hard evidence? Dad starts arguing frantically. That mark, I was just stress testing the building's structural integrity. If this place is a hazard, I gotta ping my buddy to fix it as soon as possible. The officer steps up, getting right in Dad's personal space, voice dropping to sub-zero. You're still not getting the picture. You don't run this show, I do. If I say it's evidence, it's evidence. Today you started a riot with another guild inside the shelter. Don't like it? Go ahead and file a complaint against me. Right on cue, over 100 hunters materialize inside the building, locking weapons on the squad. The assassin flashes a victory grin. Game over. You lost the second you walked through those doors. Be a good boy and surrender, or I tell my squad to turn you into Swiss cheese. Alarm bells scream in Dad's head. He can tank the damage, but his crew, they won't survive that kind of firepower. The squad behind Dad is freaking out. You dirty scumbags. You actually designed a trap to wipe us out. They beg Dad not to fold. Worst case, we die. We gotta fight these clowns to the bitter end. Dad's expression goes dead serious. He knows he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. This whole mess is clearly military orchestrated. The guild members backing him are ready to go down swinging, but Dad signals them to chill. Hold your fire. We're in the blast radius too. The level 63 assassin sneers. You want to gamble your brother's lives against me? I don't mind high stakes, but can you afford the buy-in? Shing Dad unsheathes his blade. He can't hold back the rage anymore. But facing a level 63 killer, even Dad feels the heat. He locks eyes on Park Tae-jun. If I snatch him as a hostage, we might survive this. Dad draws steel with lightning speed. The assassin and Park Tae-jun snap to high alert instantly. He's making his move. Park Tae-jun instantly procs his sword shield. He refuses to be the weak link. An agent's defensive kit is built different. It lets him analyze incoming aggro data in real time. Park figures at this range. Blocking Dad's attack is totally doable. Park Tae-hyun deploys a specialized sword shield defense designed explicitly to counter blade types. It's niche, but against swords it punches way above its weight class. Park Tae-hyun already stress-tested this shield and confirmed it can tank a full-force crit from a level 69 warrior, so he figures Dad capping out at level 65 is barely a blip on his radar, zero threat detected. In his head, he's already playing the highlight reel, Dad's blade shattering against his defense like glass. Park Tae-jun bellows, you got the skills, then smash this shield. Meanwhile, the military keeps turning up the heat. Choi Jin-han, submit now, or rot in a cell with your whole crew. Your call. Choi Jin-han's face goes dark. It's do or die time. Behind him, Han Tae-san is silently screaming for Dad to hold the line. Even if it ends in blood and death, surrendering isn't an option. But inside, Choi Jin-han is torn. He refuses to drag his brothers down with him. His grip tightens, then freezes on his sword hilt. Choice made. He unclips his weapon and hands it over. To everyone watching, it looks like he's throwing in the towel. Hante-san is shook. He never thought the boss would fold like that. The military guys, though, they're smirking, like they just won the lottery. Glad you finally smartened up. Every member of the guild is fuming, watching the military roast them right to their faces. Who wouldn't be pissed? But low-key Hante-san is already locked and loaded for war. See, he and Choi Jin-han have a code. Raising the blade, that means stand by. Dropping it, that's the kill switch. Instantly, Hante-san erupts with a terrifying aura. Magic surges through his veins like high-voltage current. Nobody realizes he and Choi Jin-han cooked up this play so their guard is totally down. With a surprise blitz, they can take out the big bad. Right on cue, Dad tosses the sword. Straight at the dirt. Game on. Park Tae-jun flinches, confused. He can't process why Choi Jin-han unarmed himself. But there's zero time to think, because Choi Jin-han is already barreling toward him like a freight train. Panicked Park instantly maxes out his shield's energy output. With that barrier up, Park Tae-jun's heartbeat finally slows down. That shield is enchanted to nullify blade strikes, it's impenetrable. Then Choi Jin-han flicks his wrist. Boom! The phantom sword materializes in his grip. Since you're so confident that toy of yours can stop me, let's put it to the test. Park Tae-jun doesn't even blink. This thing tanks, hits from level 69s. What makes you think you've got a shot? But right then, Hante-san makes his move from the backline, unleashing all that stored up mana. He seizes control of the rubble, levitating the debris into the air. The goal, coat, the sword's tip in stone. They've cracked the code on Park Tae-jun's defense mechanism. That barrier only repels sharp blades. Immediately, Choi Jin-han swings with blinding speed, smashing right through Park Tae-jun's guard. The impact hits like a sledgehammer, shattering the shield and rattling his internal organs violently. Huge miscalculation. That wasn't a slice, it was a bludgeon. Against blunt force, even the toughest blade shield is useless. Dad doesn't let up, instantly transitioning to land a combo of fatal strikes. A soldier nearby cackles. I see what you're doing. He spins around, flinging a dagger straight at Dad. I can hit you, but you can't touch me. Lay a finger on me, and it's over. But there's no way Hante-san is letting that slide. He clenches his fist, triggering a long-range defense for Dad. A stone web erupts from the earth, instantly locking down the assassin's arm mid-strike. The assassin is totally neutralized, pinned by the floating rocks. Meanwhile, Park Tae-jun is losing his mind. He thinks Choi Jin-han has gone full psycho. He screams for his squad to open fire. No mercy. The soldiers acknowledge the order and hold down their triggers. A hail of bullets spews from the barrels, but simultaneously Hante-san makes another play. He snaps two fingers upward. Trying to hurt my boss while I'm standing right here, in a heartbeat. A massive stone wall rises, cutting off Park Tae-jun's escape route and tanking the gunfire. Basically, Hante-san just used that wall to isolate the target and serve him up on a silver platter for Choi Jin-han. Choi Jin-han's adrenaline is peaking right now. He's pulled off a solo blitz. All he needs to do is snag Park Tae-jun and use him as a human shield. That leverage would let his squad retreat safely. But right as Jin-han's fingers brush the target, Park Tae-jun flickers out of existence like a glitch. Shadow style, making Dad clutch nothing but empty air. Jin-han is totally shook. He's never seen a skill defy physics like that. The officer cackles like a villain. You like that? Your buddy's stone cage trap backfired. I tagged him with residual magic the second his shield cracked. Gotcha. He just unlocked the assassin ult shadow trace. For the anime fans out there, think of it like the flying thunder god technique. Yellow flash style. Now that your leverage is gone, you gonna fold. The officer smirks, waving his hand dramatically. All units swarm him, take Choi Jin-han down. Jin-han is caught flat-footed. This sudden reversal could mean total game over for him. But look at Hante-san. The guy isn't just scared, he's paralyzed with pure terror. He can't compute why that person is here. His eyes are wide, filled with disbelief. Even the grunts are freezing up. The assassin officer is confused. He can't read the room. What's the holdup? Why aren't you attacking? Then I drop the base. You just ordered a hit on who exactly, my old man? My voice is dripping with enough killing intent to freeze hell. The assassin stiffens, panic rising in his gut. His internal monologue is screaming. How did someone flank him without a sound? Another high-tier assassin. He locks eyes with me. He doesn't know the name, but he recognizes the threat level. He decides to sucker punch me before I can blink. I have to use that. He goes for the nuclear option, reaching for a flask at his waist. Park Tae-jun clocks it immediately. That's the god-tier poison. Stuff meant to melt level 90 raid bosses. That snake must have swiped it from our loot stash. The assassin flares his aura, breaking my pressure lock with a burst of speed. I let the abyss energy coil around me, cranking my bloodlust to the max. He's fast, blur motion fast. He spins, whipping 3 daggers straight at my kill spots. Dad loses it. Yokdu, get out of there, run. Park Tae-jun is mentally screaming curses at the officer. That idiot is going to wipe the whole map. Nobody survives this toxin cloud, not even the caster. The poison is already hissing into the air, expanding everywhere. In a split second, 4 or 5 soldiers drop dead. Park Tae-jun didn't sign up for a suicide pact, especially not by friendly fire. He needs to bail from the kill zone instantly. But before he can twitch, a massive hand clamps down. I snatch both of them, dangling them like helpless baby chicks, locking them in place. Park Tae-jun's brain short circuits. He's staring at me in shock. He's still moving. That fog kills level 90 bosses. Even the assassin looks like he's seen a ghost. If a player shrugs off this venom, they aren't human. They're a monster with stats that break the game. Both of them realize the truth simultaneously. They messed with the wrong guy today. Oh, and that dagger attack. I caught it. With my teeth. I spit the hilts onto the ground. Clang. You actually thought that cheap trick would flatline me. Pathetic. Don't move, I growl, or I send you straight to the afterlife to meet the devil. We are ending this now. Park Tae-jun is reeling. Every player has 5 stats. Int, strength, agility. To tank that poison, my constitution must be level 100 plus. I bark the order, tell your goons to drop the steel. Now, this officer isn't hearing a word I say. He drops back, snatching my leg in a desperate takedown attempt. Suddenly, he launches himself airborne, locking down my right arm. He screams at Park Tae-hyung to strike now. Park Tae-hyung's lips curl into a twisted smirk. He sees a golden ticket right in front of him. He starts winding up for a massive sucker punch while I'm tangled in this armbar. But to my eyes, he's moving at a snail's pace. I unleash a burst of rage and send both of them flying. 2 blurry figures zip right past Dad. With a deafening boom, their bodies smash into the wall behind him. The impact is massive, kicking up a thick cloud of dust. That hit nearly knocked them into a coma. Dad's jaw is practically on the floor. Did my son just instantly body 2 high-level experts? Suddenly, the assassin's form starts fading away. I huff. Cheap parlor tricks. Useless. You really think that works on a pro? He triggers Shadow Shield and materializes. Dead center behind my back. He thinks I can't dodge this. Thwack. He drives the blade right into my ribs. But here's the twist. The steel stops dead. Couldn't even scratch the skin. The assassin's eyes go wide. How is this even possible? But what shocks him next is even better. His blade is stuck fast. He yanks and pulls, but it won't budge. I spin around and throw a heavy punch. As he scrambles back, I snatch the dagger right out of his grip. A drip of blood hits the floor. His nose just burst. My fist didn't even touch him. The wind pressure alone tore him up. Panic sets in. He wants to run. Too bad I'm not feeling generous. The second he tries to flee, I blink right in front of him, staring him down. No time for chit-chat. I slap a hand on his skull and shove. Hard. One thought screams in the assassin's mind. This guy's speed is off the charts. Assassin handled. I slowly stand back up. Crisis averted. Time to head back. Han Tae-san and his goons are frozen stiff, completely tongue-tied. Every step I take, the soldiers flinch backward. Their commanding officer is at my mercy, but they're too terrified to demand him back. One soldier starts to step up, but his buddies behind him frantically shake their heads, signaling, "Don't be an idiot, we'll all die." Without looking back, I call out to Dad. "I'm leaving the other guy to you. Let's wrap this up and get home." Dad's mouth twitches. Thank God his son showed up today. Otherwise, they would have been toast. The next day, we're back at the house. Dad pushes through the door. Looks like the interrogation is done. Tough luck, Dad didn't get a single word out of them. But honestly, it doesn't matter. We know exactly where the Tiger Roar Guild stands now. We need to stay high alert for the next few days. But something else is eating at Dad even more than the guild schemes. "Son, talk to us. What happened?" The 3 of them are dying to know what I went through. These past 5 years, to get this OP in such a short time, they can't wrap their heads around it. After seeing the mess Dad is in, I realize I can't keep them in the dark anymore. It's time to come clean. I sit them down and spill everything. 5 years ago, I fell into a hellhole called the Abyss. I spent every waking second hunting monsters. Must have gotten snagged by a tower dungeon. I lay it all out, including the part where I spent 500 years inside, until finally, a summoner yanked me back to Earth. Dad rubs his chin deep in thought. This insane story is hard to swallow. There are 16 towers in total, but none of them match what you're describing. Sounds like you found an undocumented tower, and had the worst luck imaginable falling into it. Han Tae-san pipes up. If that tower is near Shelter 6, we can make clearing it a priority. Dad lets out a heavy emotional sigh. "Son, I'm just glad you made it back in one piece. Leave the rest to me." Hearing this, Han Tae-san cracks up laughing. "Glad he's back. Your kid came back a million times stronger than the rest of us combined. You're just relieved." Man, if I were you, I'd be waking up laughing every single night. Mom grips my hand, her face twisted in pure agony. She doesn't care about the past or the scars. All that matters to her is that I made it back in one piece. Seeing me back ignites a fire in Dad's chest. He refuses to let this family fall apart a second time. He is ready to move mountains just to keep this home safe. I glance down and freeze. Mom's hands. They're covered in rough scars. Dad's are the same. Looks like I'm not the only one wearing battle wounds in this house. I make a silent vow right there. I'm never leaving them again. I'll burn everything down if I have to, just to restore this family to what it was. Suddenly, the room plunges into darkness. The overhead lights are dead. My pulse spikes. This isn't random. I know exactly who's crashing the party. Dad and Sam are looking around clueless. Power outage, they're probably thinking. Right on cue. The air shifts and that cloaked creep materializes right next to me. This guy is getting seriously annoying. He starts reciting his usual villain lines like a broken record. There is no escape, seed of the abyss. But wait, something's off. The vibe is different this time. He's going off script. Found you, he whispers. And the creepiest part, Mom is looking right through him. She's staring at the dead light bulb, completely oblivious to the monster standing inches away. The hooded man's eyes snap open. Then poof, he vanishes from my side. It wasn't a fade out. He physically moved. Before I can blink, I feel his presence looming right behind me. Long time no see, seed of the abyss. Oh, now things are getting spicy. He's actually conscious this time. But is he real, or is this just another mind game? I try to sense his energy. Nothing. He hasn't manifested physically yet. Has to be an illusion. I'll deal with this hallucination after I sort out my family drama. Suddenly, he reaches out. Ignoring me. You really think I'm just a figment of your imagination? Humans love lying to themselves. Before I can react, his cold hands clamp over my eyes. Time to pay for your arrogance. He pulls away and my vision goes pitch black. Literal fog is swirling in my sockets. Thick black smoke pours out of my eyes, engulfing my entire body. I'm blind. Okay, definitely not an illusion. My family is freaking out. Mom screams, "What's happening to you?" They see the smoke coiling around me. Dad realizes this isn't a power outage. "Your eyes," he yells. "They're gone. It's just black smoke." Mom doesn't hesitate. She casts Purify instantly, trying to scrub this darkness off me. But it bounces off. A system window pops up in her face. Target is not cursed. Skill failed. She's panicking. It's not magic. It's something worse. Damn it, I got cocky. I let my guard down and now I'm fighting blind. But I don't need eyes to see. My perception is still sharp. I lock onto him. No way am I letting him touch my parents. I snap into action. I lunge forward and crush the hooded man's windpipe. My family gasps. To them, I'm choking thin air, but the villain just cackles. Scared, if you've got the guts, then finish it. Dad is losing his mind, terrified and confused. Son, is there someone there? We can't see anything. Mom is just as lost. I ignore them. My focus is entirely on the unseen monster. I'm ready to kill. Why are you haunting me, you coward? That word hits a nerve. He starts chuckling. Hysterical laughter echoes in my head. Coward, please. I just haven't introduced myself properly. I am Fordell of the noble Aesir clan, the god of darkness. And he's here because of that black crystal I absorbed back in the abyss. Turns out that wasn't just a rock. It was divine power left behind by the Aesir gods. I basically stole a piece of his darkness domain. While I was down there, his little messengers were watching my every move. And now that I escaped without permission, the hunt is on. He demands I return to the abyss with him. Right now. Listening to his spiel, it clicks these so-called divine messengers. They're definitely the Eslar that Mom warned us about. Dad's not taking any chances. His hand is already hovering over his hilt, ready to draw blood. He doesn't understand the full context, but his gut is screaming that this hooded figure is bad news. My instinct, kill him. But Mom signals him to stand down. Let's watch first. A cold mocking smirk creeps onto my face. You call yourself a god, yet I already crushed you. What gives you the right to order me back? Don't think your cheap parlor tricks scare me. Push me too far. And whether it's messengers or gods, I'll slaughter every last one of you. That struck a nerve. The hooded creep snaps. Don't get cocky. Just because you got lucky once. The other Eslar are in a completely different league. You have no idea what you're up against. They could strip your power without breaking a sweat. Okay, that threw me. I didn't expect Mr. Arrogance to admit. He's weaker than the rest. But why trust a liar? Suddenly, the hooded figure bursts into manic laughter. Don't say I didn't warn you. Everything I'm doing is for your own good. But you ignorant peasant, you still don't get it, do you? When the rain of blood starts pouring over this land, you'll regret everything. He's planting seeds of doubt. I have zero reason to trust him, yet listening to him might be my only play. I'm stuck. Even now, I'm second-guessing my own strength. Can I actually take down the Eslar? Suddenly, a noise from outside breaks the tension. Someone's making an entrance. But before we see a face, a voice booms out. A deep incantation vibrates through the room, riding on waves of golden light. Next second, a terrifying energy blasts in from the hallway, locking onto the hooded figure like a spotlight, making him scream in pure agony. At the same time, that mental fog clouding my vision starts to lift. The hooded guy is frozen, pinned down by some invisible binding force. He struggles, trying every trick in the book, but he's stuck. The newcomer speaks slowly. What he said is true. I believe you. Dad lights up when he sees who it is. Shu Xianzi, how did you find us? Meanwhile, as that golden light washes over me, my sight snaps back into focus. I look up, and no way. It's the monk from the shelter entrance. I knew it. Guy's a hidden master. I glance back at my dad. You know him, Dad nods. Know him. We go way back. We founded the United Guild together. But he wouldn't be here unless it was critical. Something's up. Dad steps forward, demanding answers. I'll explain later, Shu Xianzi cuts in. First, I need a word. With your son. 2.5 hours fly by. Once the room clears out, I press Shu Xianzi. All right, spill it. What's this emergency you mentioned? Shu Xianzi taps his own eyes. I'm no Eslar, but these eyes, they perceive divine energy. That's how I use the forbidden arts to seal that God, the hooded freak. Also, even though my power feels similar to his, the force behind it surpasses any deity. Doesn't matter how I got it, we're out of time. Multiple God-tier signals are converging on this location. We need a plan now. They're coming because they want what I have. Look, I don't know your history with that deity, but he wasn't lying. But you can't return to the abyss. The thing lurking in that tower, it's a nightmare compared to the Eslar. That hooded guy, he's trying to bait you back, just to harvest your divine power. You need to leave. Join the military. Shu Xianzi's suggestion disgusts me. The military? You mean the guys who tried to nuke me off the map? Shu Xianzi chuckles. Sure, the current leadership is messy, but there's one man, among them, worth trusting. Once you're officially enlisted, the Eslar won't touch you so easily. But forget the army for a second. If I leave, who protects my parents? He stays calm. The Eslar have a code. They don't target ordinary civilians. It's because of this rule that the alliance still stands. Suddenly, Shu Xianzi flares his aura. Countless specks of light drift from his body. Besides, as long as I'm here, they won't make a move. The Litan tribe is seriously OP. Their power rivals the S-class elites, provided they keep their cool and don't get reckless. Nobody would dare lay a finger on your parents or anyone else on this turf. Meanwhile, the scene shifts to a darker setting. Deep inside the war room of the Tiger Roar Guild, the atmosphere is heavy as the top brass convenes. The vibe is pure disgust. What a joke. Dragging all 4 of us out here for a mission to hunt some nobody who doesn't even have a system. Intel tags that white-haired brat as Choi Jin-han's long-lost son. He probably just got lucky and cleared a tower. Honestly, sending Fei Long alone would have been overkill for trash like that. Assemble the full squad, unnecessary. Fei Long snaps back, clearly ticked off. And why get me stuck with the cleanup duty? If you're so amazing, you handle it. Tension spikes, but before fists fly, a hand lands firmly on Fei Long's shoulder. The blue-haired woman shakes her head silently, signaling him to zip it and fall in line with the boss's orders. That's Athena, another S-class heavy hitter. Suddenly, the man seated at the head of the table breaks his silence. I'm joining this hunt personally. Jaws drop around the table. The guildmaster is making a move. This comes directly from Zeus, he declares. The order is absolute. Liquidate the kid, Yogdu, plus Tower 16 near Shelter 6 is about to go live. That's the prize for controlling a tower. But the stubborn alliance rejected our offer and thinks they can run their own show. So tonight we wipe the slate clean. Not just Yogdu, but his parents, the founders of the alliance, die too. Infinite murderous intent floods the room, radiating from the boss's eyes. Nobody defies an order from Zeus. We will execute this flawlessly. Do I make myself clear? This is Licht, the guildmaster of Tiger Roar. He is level 118, the vessel of Zeus's divine power. Meanwhile, back at our base, we've locked in our own strategy. Shi Xianji takes charge. Go find Park Sujin. You need to take command from her position. She's an old contact of mine. She'll watch your back, so head over there without worrying. And listen, if hell breaks loose, keep your eyes peeled for that curse master. Once his curse formation triggers, not even the Tiger Roar Guild can touch us. Mom flashes a reassuring smile. The Alliance has this place locked down. Go. Your father and I are powerhouses, remember. We'll be fine. I nod, trying to buy it. But there's this gnawing pit in my stomach. It's probably just separation anxiety. I finally got my parents back, and now I have to bail. 15 minutes later, Shi Xianji sits like a statue at the main gate, waiting for the inevitable. Suddenly, the fallen leaves skitter across the ground, yet there's zero wind. It's bone-chilling. The calm before the storm shatters. Shi Xianji's instincts scream danger instantly. An overwhelming divine pressure mixed with bloodlust floods the courtyard. They're here. A wave of pitch-black divine energy blasts through the entrance. Through the gloom, 4 silhouettes emerge at the gate. The aura rolling off them is suffocating. Every single one is S-class. A ferocious attack launches from the shadows, but Shi Xianji doesn't flinch. He slams a palm into the ground. Boom. Golden bell barrier deployed. The black fog smashes into the shield and ricochets off harmlessly. Not a scratch. Behind the barrier, my parents and Han Tae-san are stunned by the sheer pressure. The four S-class invaders step forward. Their gaze is dripping with murder. Shi Xianji feels a cold sweat. He never thought Tiger Roar would go this hard. Dispatching a full squad of 4 S-rankers. Insane. But that's not the worst part. Looming behind